Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Supermarket Prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hopefully you guys had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I am doing great today. It's feeling good.
Good, man. Good. Glad to hear that. Glad to hear that. Life is good. Awesome. Friends, quick look at our gappers list here, brought to you by TradingTerminal.com. And as you can see, more red this morning. So a lot of our fun tickers, so QBTS, all these ion, quantum stuff, red, Tesla red. We'll dive into all of that. And then just a couple of things in the green. NEO. Look at NEO making an appearance in our gappers list. Chinese EV vehicle. We don't talk about much. Usually doesn't trade very well. But I'm always happy to see NEO on the list when he can make it. So, we'll dive into all of that. But before we do so, let's jump to our U.S. economic calendar for what's happening today.
Yeah, we've got a couple of things happening today. Starting with the numbers that just came out a few minutes ago, the housing starts and building permits in the U.S. both came out pretty much on target, as you can see, slightly higher. Interestingly, more housing starts in the month. This is for the month of February than expected, and building permits, which is usually a more forward-looking indicator, is pretty much on target, right? Only 6,000 difference. Not surprisingly, the import price index went up. I was surprised that the forecast expected a contraction. They actually expected prices to drop by 0.1%. Instead, they grew by 0.4%. And then later this morning, we've got U.S. industrial production, capacity utilization numbers coming out. And I threw on there the fact that we've got this keynote. I mentioned it yesterday. We've got the GTC conference, which is happening, put on by NVIDIA. It's a tech conference. The keynote address is happening, this morning, California time. It's in San Jose, California. But 1 o'clock p.m. market time, when Jensen Huang, is the CEO of NVIDIA, is giving that keynote speech. Again, will that have an impact on the market? I have no idea, but it's good to know it just in case the market starts to do something weird and you're like, what the heck is happening? That could be it, right? It could be people reacting to some of the commentary that he's making. And again, he might have a completely innocuous speech. Nobody may care. I don't know, but it's good to know that it's happening. One thing I don't normally put on that economic calendar, but I thought I would mention for this morning, a lot of economic numbers come out of Canada and every other country, but the Canadian numbers came out. Interesting to me that the CPI, this is the Consumer Price Index, came out, and look, last month we had a 0.1% growth. This month it was 1.1% growth in Canada. Oh, Carlos, we are not streaming the video into the chat room.
Oh, let's get the chat room.
There you go.
It's showing.
I was just seeing the comments there.
Okay, let me. It is showing that I'm streaming, so I'm gonna stop it and redo it again. So give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna stop it and redo it again. Let's see if this works. Okay, so I'm just gonna refresh it, and hopefully this comes across. Now let me know, because on my end I see it okay. So let me know if it's working on yours. I just redid it now.
No, it says there's a screen, but the screen is not coming up. It's happening again, Carlos.
It's happening. They're messing with us.
The same problems we saw before.
Yeah, I don't see anything different on my end. Okay, we'll keep working on this. We'll figure this out, why the chat room's not working. Maybe I have to close the browser completely. I don't want to do that because we'll lose you guys for a bit. But I might not have a choice. Let me see. Let me try one more time. We'll refresh. And again, you guys on YouTube are perfectly fine. It's just our chat room here is not getting our feed. So we're trying to figure out what's causing this madness. All right, so refreshed it. Allowed. We'll try one more time here. If that doesn't work, then I might just need to close everything out, guys, and come back in, unfortunately. I'm going to check one more thing here.
Yeah, again, it shows that there's a screen, but we don't actually see the screen. Let me see what happens when I try and share. See, my screen seems to be coming up. Is it? Can people see my screen? Hi.
Yep, I see a screen. Yeah. Oh, interesting.
No, people don't see my screen.
No, I see your screen.
Some
You got to,
people
you
are
got to,
seeing my screen.
yeah, you got to
Some
click on the
aren't.
tab, guys, on the top to see Peter's screen. Um,
Mm,
yep. All right, so
interesting.
Gab.
Yeah, we got some tech problems. Sorry, everybody. Some tech problems. Well, anyways, maybe Carlos can work on those in the background. I was just mentioning that, anyways, in Canada, we're seeing significant inflation. The month over month for February showed a 1.1% increase, which is pretty big for a single month, especially when last month it was 0.1%. So we're talking, like 10 times increase here in inflation. And look, as a guy on the ground here in Canada, I can absolutely see prices changing, especially most notably, of course, in the stuff that we get out of Mexico and the US, like groceries. Prices have gone up quite a bit in the last month. So, yeah, economic impact, of course, of the tariffs and what's happening. So it's interesting to see that. I mean, I'm sure that other countries are experiencing similar inflationary pressures. So, anyways, that aside, like we were saying later this morning, there's a couple of numbers. Actually, still while we're doing the show, so we'll see what happens when industrial production and capacity utilization comes on. But so far this morning, market's not really reacting to this economic data. You never quite know whether they're going to react or not. We had some interesting market jumps yesterday, midday, as we had some economic news that came out. You can most notably, of course, when the markets decided to take off mid-afternoon around 1 o'clock, we just had this run to the top side. So that was sort of fun, and it's we'll see if we can get some more fun today. In the meantime, like Carlos said, we do have a couple things on the earnings that I want to talk about, and a few things in the gappers. So we'll get to those momentarily.
Yep, absolutely, guys. Here's our gappers list as we continue
We
to work.
lost sound. What's happening?
No, we shouldn't have.
We got all sorts of comments in the chat room. Some people are losing sound. Some people aren't. Oh my God, what's happening with the room?
Yeah, because YouTube is perfectly fine. So I don't know what's going on.
All right.
I'm trying a different browser to see if that works. Again, we haven't changed anything, and I have not upgraded my machine to nothing because I know that usually creates problem. But yeah, don't see anything going on here. All right, we'll keep working on this, guys. But over for our gappers list, as you can see here, friends, we got a bunch of stuff in. Oh, hold on a second. Yep, we got a bunch of stuff in the red this morning. The list keeps growing. I see some tickers, some Bitcoin stuff coming up to deck. Tesla on here, some other ones. So we'll dive into those there. All right, friends, if we take a close look at our list here, let's start with the first one, gap up, ADTX. So if we look at ADTX, man, we are up 36% on this bad boy. 8.3 million shares traded. The float is 90 million on this, so not a low flow. As we're sitting at 90 million, that's a good solid flow here. Lower price stock, Peter. Again, just looking really active this morning.
Yeah, they announced that they had made a submission into the federal government for a funding proposal for their added text transaction update. I don't know. Anyways, look, this basically I'm trying to figure out what the heck this is. This is because biotech, it's always about approval of some drug or something. But anyways, I see what they've done. They've applied to a funding extension for their provision of some medication to fight infectious diseases. So with the federal government, this is a potential contract worth 117.5 million. So that would be good news for them. Now they've just submitted the application. It looks like it doesn't look like they've actually got approval on this. So anyways, and it's in a couple of phases here to get that full amount, the full 117 million. So anyways, feels like a little bit of an overreaction here by the market, but that's what I see.
Yeah. I like the fact that it is not a low flow stock, right? So I'm inclined to have it on my list because there's 90 million shares flow here. So I'm going to put an ADTX on my secondary. I think it could be a real nice one today. Definitely in play, no question about it. We just got to see how well that's going to trade. But again, you got to be careful. I don't like these lower price stocks. I know it's not a low flow, but it's surely trading like one, Peter. Let's never underestimate the price action you're getting now.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to treat this as a low float. I mean, on a normal day, it trades less than a million shares, probably about 990,000 on average. So, yeah, the fact that we're at 9 million shares already shows that it's much more in play than normal. So, yeah, if you don't mind the low floats, this might be a good one for you this morning. It actually looks pretty good.
Yep. All right, let's take a look at the next one here, friends. CRVO today. As we take a look here, we are up a nice 13.8 this morning. Now, this one is a low flow, sitting at 5.3. We've seen this one before a couple of times. I tried sharing my screen again, guys. I don't know if it's working. I just did a different browser. I can't tell. Screen is acting weird. The chat room this morning, Peter. I
Oh,
see you very
I see
frozen up.
yours. Yeah.
I'm gonna close your screen. Yours is very choppy for some reason. But it looks like mine is
Let me
up
turn.
now. Yeah.
I see yours now. So
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't look. Okay, that looks somewhat smooth. Okay. Whoa. All good. All right, CRVO friends. Uh, Again, we've seen this in play over the last couple of days. If you look at the daily here, we've been moving nicely, somewhat. But again, I'm just not a big fan of this stock, and I have not put it on my list. So I don't know how it's doing in the intraday. So if I hop over here and look at the intraday action over at yesterday, you did get a move here. Not bad volume. You got a couple of million shares traded here in a couple of minutes. Again, not a big fan of it, Peter. What's the latest and greatest? This thing seems to be continuing on its move on the daily. Just keeps rocking.
yeah, yeah, I don't see any direct corporate news. They did have two different upgrades with different price targets on it. So I guess that's what's moving it this morning. The upgrades came from two smaller, I'll say, analyst firms that are setting targets of $14 and $21. So both of those are bullish targets, obviously. Um, I, yeah, I don't know. I don't like it
Yeah,
personally.
I don't like it either, friends. We'll move on. Let's take a look at the next one here. Is going to be as we take a look at our gappers list from tradingterminal.com. Neo. So Neo is on deck here, and let's take a look what's going on with Neo, my previous good buddy. So we're up 4.6 here, 6 million shares traded at the moment. It doesn't look great pre-market, and again, I just can't expect this to trade any better than it has been. A couple of days we actually seen some good action out of it, but for the most part, they're not a great intraday trading stock. I know we spoke about it yesterday. Some of the Chinese tickers, they have been seeing some strength lately, right? Some stimulus packages being announced, like BABA yesterday was pretty good. We saw some strength out of them, and you can see they had a beautiful, beautiful day there. So we had them on watch after somebody mentioned in the chat room. But for the most part, I don't see anything great on Neo, Peter.
Yeah, I mean, they had a little bit of news out of the government that they're expanding their rollout of charging stations across China. Now, charging stations in China are handled a little bit different. They're funded or subsidized by the state quite heavily as they're trying to create a sort of a stable power grid as they look to move more to electric. I mean, the Chinese government has been funding all of the EV companies, which is what spurred the massive growth in EVs across China, which, it's been a concerted approach of that government. I think NEO's also, probably moving a little bit because XPEV had earnings this morning, and I'm surprised to see XPEV down. Actually, I don't understand what's going on there, but anyways, Neo seems to be gapping up for whatever reason, while XPEV that had earnings is gapping down. I guess we'll talk about XPEV. Well, XPEV is actually not going to make our gap down list because it's not gapping down enough, but it is one that I want to talk about. Maybe I'll just talk about it now. XPEV had earnings. And it was a look. I think they had a great quarter. Unfortunately, sometimes what happens with these Chinese companies, I don't understand. There's such different numbers that come out all the time. So the analyst didn't agree what the expectation was, and the reporting right now has the numbers all over the place. Most of the reporting, shows that they beat the numbers, but every number I look at is different. So I think they had a good quarter. What seems to be fairly consistent is the number of deliveries that they had last quarter, which is a significant increase over the previous quarter. And XPEV actually had a great forecast. They're forecasting, so that was their Q4 numbers that just came out. Q1, their 2025 6 year, I guess, their Q1 numbers, they're predicting significant growth. 91 to 93,000 cars expected to be produced in that quarter, in the Q1, which represents like over a 300% increase of the same quarter last year. So XPEV's definitely growing their volume. They have big expectations. They've got 2 new SUV models, which is what is expected to be behind this growth. I mean, I don't really know their model offerings. This is the G6 and G9 SUVs. Anyways, but they're also expecting a large growth because they're making a big push into the European markets. Now, I've seen XPEV, Neo, and other cars in Europe when I've traveled there. And yeah, I mean, hey, look, they look good. And as long as you've got the ability to charge them and repair them when needed, then why not? Because their price point typically is significantly lower than North American or European cars. So yeah, I mean, they've got a very competitive opportunity if they can get themselves into a number of European markets. And they're forecasting big growth. So why are they dropping? Don't know. Like, I can't say. But yeah, that's the news on them this morning.
Yeah, hold on a second. I got Thor in my ear for some reason. Let's see what's going on here. I don't understand what's happening. I just hear
Ghost
Thor
in the
talking.
machine.
Yeah, I'm like, what is Thor saying? All right, so let me see. He came on and left. I'm not sure why. Okay, so we have no audio now. Okay, so we fixed the video and now we have no audio. Okay, that's not good. All right, so I'll turn off this thing again. Let's try this.
Oh, now I see you up there twice.
No, I hear myself
this is
twice. So that's not good. Let's see.
You were
here.
there. Well, no, I just saw you listed on the microphone twice now.
Yeah,
Now
I'm
you're
gonna
gone.
turn that off and turn this one on. See if that works. All right.
Hello,
But I
testing.
gotta-
Oh my goodness. All right, we're back
I hear
for
you
the moment
twice.
anyways.
I hear it twice for some
Over
reason.
here. I don't know.
Okay.
All right. Sorry, everybody. There's ghosts in the machine today. Must be the remnants of too much. You know what? Our system must have had too much partying last night for St. Patty's Day.
That's what I'm
Did
thinking,
you
man.
did you take a drink or anything? I didn't actually do
No,
anything last
man.
night.
I go from my day to the kids and just the regular, night routine. There's just none of that. I got 5 beers and my fridge has been there for about probably 5 weeks, man. Yeah, it just doesn't happen, man, like it used to no more. You got the kids. It's a routine we have to follow to make sure everything goes well.
Right.
But I enjoy every minute of it, man. These kids are
Do
amazing.
man. They'll be like,
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? It'll be soon enough, Carlos. You'll be sitting there at night with nothing to do but worry about where the heck your daughter is and why isn't she home yet.
Yeah.
So,
Trust me, I'm not
enjoy
looking
this
forward,
while you can.
forward to that. But
I'm
yeah,
telling ya, it's
every
coming.
minute. Yeah, absolutely. All right, friends. We did everything we possibly could. We restarted the browser. We did a different browser. If that has not worked for you, join us on YouTube, because then we don't know what else is going on with the chat room, but we've done everything and we haven't changed anything. So if you're still having problems, join us on YouTube, because YouTube has been consistently good and there's no issues there for now. And then we'll figure it out eventually. Once in a blue, we get these type of issues. All right, so back to our gappers list. As you can see here, we have AG and the gold. Both of them are gold tickers, right? So let's take a look at AG. I normally don't trade these. First Majestic Silver. Again, I'm just not a fan of these tickers. I'd rather trade individual companies, Peter, but they're both up today. Anything good happening there?
Well, we've sort of in passing talked about gold, I guess, in the past, but only in passing. Look, gold and silver prices have been on a tear. Both have been up quite significantly. Remember, we were looking that up the other day, Carlos, and you were shocked at the price of gold, that it was $4,000 per ounce. So yeah, gold prices are still continuing to go up. I don't know. It feels like the days of using precious metals to hedge other things should be past, but maybe not. I don't know. They're on a run, so it makes sense that some of the miners are going to take advantage as the underlying commodity they're selling gets more valuable. They get to charge more in the market for the same mining activities that they're undertaking. So that's good for the miners. So you're going to see a few of these, I think, pop up occasionally. Yeah, keep in mind, right? These, I guess it's sort of good that the prices are going up, but it's also a bad thing, because that just goes into, that's another price increase, another inflationary pressure on a lot of things we buy. There are, a lot of precious metals that go into high-end electronics, for example, right? So it's going to cost us more when all of these gold, silver, tungsten, lithium, blah blah blah, right? All these metals, we use them. There might only be trace amounts of gold in your computer, but it still has an effect. So, anyways, for the morning, from a trading perspective, you're right, Carlos. Trading individual mining stocks is typically very difficult. They don't really move very well. They don't typically get a lot of volume. So I just usually avoid the sectors altogether. If you want to trade some of the indices, sometimes the indexes can move a little bit better, but even those I usually avoid, and I just focus on other parts of the market. That being said, something that Jared said, bears repeating this morning. He did a full engineering the markets this morning, as he always does. One of the things he said, and he's said a couple of times, is right now, you got to be careful that individual stocks, in his words, individual stocks don't matter, meaning that right now the market is generally dictating, like everything's moving as a group, right? We're not seeing a huge amount of independence. Now, there's a couple of stocks that buck that trend. Apple, for example, tends to be going against the market a little bit, or at least moving independently. But for large, by and large, a lot of the larger stocks, if you sort of overlay the Qs, the SPY, with a lot of the big offerings like the semiconductors, or Tesla even on occasion, or Microsoft, et cetera, they tend to look very similar. So the market is being very cautious. That's usually a sign of caution, and the market is just sort of waiting for things to settle out. Look, current political forces in the U.S. have got the markets very skittish. We know the markets don't like uncertainty, and you should expect a little bit of that skittishness in terms of random movements, middle of the day, especially based on news, and then things tending to follow the market trend overall, which is not a bad thing necessarily. Just if you're aware of it, you can adjust your trading accordingly. So for many of our traders, especially our moderators in the room, they've had great months. February has been a great month so far. March has been a good month for people. So, just be cautious with it. If you can be aware of the big trends, you can use them to your advantage.
Yep, absolutely, friends. I feel the same way. I'm going to leave those alone. Again, it's just not typically something I look at as far as day trading goes. All right, Peter, here's our gappers list. Anything you like in the gap down that we haven't covered yet? I'm sorry, gap up, excuse me.
Yeah, the gap up, nothing really on the gap up. Well, sorry, I'll mention one. TME, 10-cent music. I'm always surprised this is not one of the ones that trades actively. I don't know. It feels like a fun company that should trade more actively. But they don't. They get relatively low volume. They did have earnings. It looks like they beat their numbers. Now, they're one of the more reliable, I would say, reporters. So they've got more coverage. They've got more stable reporting. And looks like they beat their numbers, by about 5%. So didn't blow the doors off, but it was a good reporting. Being said, I don't know, for whatever reason, they just don't get great volume. Pre-market volume is not good on TME. And I always thought that they should be one that trades well. They might get a little bit of a lift. Some of the Chinese offerings are getting a lift this morning as the Chinese market looks like it's starting to heat up. We'll have to see if that really plays through. Because Baba is down this morning, but if you sort of look what they've done over the last month compared to U.S. equities, they've actually been, the Chinese market has been taking advantage, I think, of the economic uncertainty in the West, and has really sort of been driving nice and quietly and steadily higher. So that trend might continue. Maybe TME with their earnings can get a good trading day today, but we'll have to see what happens. It's not doing much pre-market, to be honest. It's green, but not in an exciting way, and with low volume.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. All right, let's go into our gap up list this morning, guys. You can see it. I'm sorry, gap down is a bunch on here today, but they're in groups, right? You got the quantum stuff leading the way. You have Tesla and some of the Bitcoin stuff on here as well. Plus a usual suspect like POTR and some other ones on here. SoundHound, which we've seen plenty of times. RXRX, which we don't like. So let's go through some of these and see what's going on. All right, let's take a look at SRPT. What's SRPT? This is a Sarepta Therapeutics.
Sarepta Therapeutics. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right. All right, so therapeutic company, it is down 23%, 900,000 shares traded. I seen the ticker before. I can't remember. I didn't remember the name, but normally doesn't trade well. But Peter, they're down a whopping 23% today. That makes it exciting. What's the news on it?
Look, the news is a headline that they have a patient who died after using one of their treatments for muscular dystrophy. So, it's unclear as to whether this is a direct cause and effect or if they died from other causes. But they knew that they were taking their Elevitus anyways gene therapy, and unfortunately died in the last 48 hours. So that's what's taking this company down. I don't know what that means for a trading opportunity longer term. You're right. We've seen this on the list in the past. Typically, actually, it has traded okay in the past. I'm just looking at the daily here. Normally, it's not making a big move. This is a big drop, right down almost a quarter of its value, down 23.5% at the moment, and it was down a little more earlier. So this might very well be in play once the market opens if the news gets worse. But yeah, the news is one of their patients on their gene therapy treatment passed away, and they're of course taking a hit for that.
Yeah, that is not good. So we'll see how that plays out. How well this thing is going to trade. Obviously, the catalyst is there, no question. How well it's going to trade might be just a question of how much volume we're going to get at the market open. Typically, the stock, the daily volume, as you can see here, guys, is very, very low. And when you take 2 million shares and you spread it throughout the day, it looks horrible. So that's just not going to happen. Do it for us. Now, given today, the pre-market volume is as much as they trade throughout the day. So obviously, they're ahead of what they expect to trade this morning, given that they're in play. So we'll have to see. I'm curious to see how this news, though, plays out, right? I'm not curious to trade the stock. I could care less. This ticker looks horrible. But this news of somebody passing away, unfortunately, I'm curious to see how the market's going to react to something like that, because that's probably the worst thing that can happen when you have that type of treatment. So I'm curious on that end. Going to add in a secondary just to see how the market treats this thing when the volume does come in. All right, QBTS, my friends, let's take a look here. We are down this morning. We had a nice rally on all these quantum tickers, but today they're giving some of that back. Here's QBTS right now. We're down 10%, 13.2 million shares traded. You can look at QUBT as well, sitting on here, down 5%, 4.6 million. Hard to borrow on that one. What is QMCO? Is that another quantum ticker we haven't talked about? It is. Look at that. QMCO. I don't think we ever looked at this one, Peter, as far as quantum.
No, not really. Quantum Corp.
Look at that.
No, we have not.
All right. So this one, higher price, which I kind of like there. So it's just the volume is not as great. But QMCO, another quantum ticker that we have on here, RGTI, you name it, they're all on here this morning. Peter, they had a great day yesterday and the last couple of days. What's causing this drop? Is it a pullback? Is it market? Or do we have any specific news?
Well, I mean, the look, QBTS specifically had a huge move up in the last week or so, and it's natural that it's going to give some of that back. Now, that being said, they're calling informally on Thursday of this week at this conference we keep talking about, this GTC conference that NVIDIA hosts. They're having the first ever Quantum Day. Now, again, that's the informal name for it. They're calling it Quantum Day because a number of quantum computing executives are going to be presenting at this conference, which is about all sorts of tech issues or tech opportunities and innovations. So it just, they've coordinated a few different tech conversations here, or quantum conversations, on Thursday. And I think, you got to be aware, it's always a buy the rumor, sell the news, right? It's always exciting. So great news that NVIDIA is hosting a Quantum Day. As we get closer to it, usually the reality is you sell the news. It's probably not going to be as exciting as people expect, because they are unlikely to have a big new quantum breakthrough to announce, and it may confirm the fact that quantum computing is still a little ways away. Now, is a little ways 6 months, 6 years? or more. I can't tell you. I don't know. I mean, this is what the big debate is across the industry. But yes, this quantum day is happening Thursday. Today, of course, we have the keynote speaker from Jensen Huang. Again, 1 o'clock Eastern time, 1 o'clock market time is when that keynote kicks off. Again, there may or may not be any market reaction to that in this space specifically. The expectation is that he's going to cover a number of topics, which could include quantum computing. Of course, he'll talk about AI and NVIDIA's new chipsets. If you're trading this sector at all, right? If you're trading any AI stock, any quantum stock, or any semiconductor stock, specifically if you're trading those that whom he may mention, right? Then be very well aware of that speech, because that could have a direct impact. But again, the market may totally ignore it as well. We'll find out together. Could be fun. But anyways,
Yeah.
these quantum stocks seem to be moving down as we get closer to the reality of this quantum day, and the fact that there may be nothing exciting said. So I don't know. They're still in play, Carlos. Pick the quantum stock you like, watch it. Wait for the opportunity. They're out there. I mean, we were watching quantum yesterday, and I've got to say, there was some interesting, a lot of choppy movement, but a couple of trading opportunities. QBTS late in the day specifically did a big run up here up to almost $12, and then sold off. If you'd caught that, there was actually a decent move. Whereas
Yep.
Rigetti and QUBT actually weren't that interesting. Pretty choppy for most of the day. So.
Yeah, this has been the most interesting one, and I'm gonna put it on my list again. And we always do have shares for sure, not a lot, only 200,000, so that's not a whole bunch. But some of these other ones don't have shares for sure. But again, as you know, I've been on a swing on QBTS, so I've obviously been watching very closely. And I gave in yesterday. I sold here. I'm thinking, this thing can go back to $5, so I sold the rest of my position. I sold the partial at the market open, and the day before, and then the rest yesterday. And we'll see if it comes back down. I think this is the future, man. It comes back down to $6. I'm jumping in again, but that's more of a swing thing there. So I have QBTS on my list. I'm concerned with it being available to short it if we are going to be short this week. If you look at RGTI, as you mentioned, these other ones have not really been trading all that great as far as movement compared to like a QBTS. So I'm not sure. But today, though, Rigetti looks interesting, man. We're down 8.2. Again, very little inventory to short, so I'm not sure. I'll keep QBTS on the list. And I'll be thinking about the other ones, including the new one here, QMC. No, not new, but we just noticed it. QMCO. I like that it's higher price, so I do like that there. And they usually tend to trade a little bit better, but we'll have to see. Over the last couple of days, you can see a very nice clean daily here, which I wish I would have known about this one. I like this higher price stock. So yeah, I like it. Above $10, 15, 20. That's awesome. So I'm going to keep my eye on it just to see how this thing plays out. Again, I think these quantum stocks are going to be in play for a while, friends. So you want to have a couple of them. You want to keep an eye on them, see what we get out of this. Hey, Peter, 5 years from now, we could be trading this thing at $300. You just don't know. You just don't know.
We could be.
Yeah.
Very easily. Yeah.
All right, let's hope that that's the case. We're all in long with our entire portfolio. Let's take a look here at Nexus XPEF, which you kind of spoke about, of our tradingterminal.com scanners here. So we kind of covered that one already. Let's go to the one that's creating a lot of noise this morning, Tesla. The hits keep coming, Peter, on Tesla. And today is no different. New news today. Man, tell us what's happening with this morning.
Well, I mean, look, yeah, I don't know. You could pick any one of a dozen different news articles about Tesla to say what's going wrong. The demonstrations continue at Tesla dealerships across the U.S. and the globe. There's been a few in Canada. I understand a couple in Europe. Despite the threats from the White House that they will imprison anybody who's demonstrating, they continue. And, it's interesting because the White House has said, well, they'll go after the funders, right? Believed that it was a political action being funded, but it seems to be very grassroots. So there is no funder. It's literally just people self-coordinating to go do this. So, I mean, anyways, whatever's happening, it's affecting Tesla. Obviously, they've got increased competition. So on the business side, there's also concerns, right? Increased competition out there with the Chinese market, of course, being problematic. The European sales are down, and this has got to be affecting the North American sales. Although, interestingly, they've been very quiet about releasing North American sales numbers. Eventually, they'll have to produce them, but we haven't seen anything yet. The most immediate news is interesting that there's been concerns raised about the quality of the Cybertrucks, and that they're having significant production and quality issues with some of the panels like detaching and falling off. There's videos of they say it's mostly in cold climates, but apparently there's a couple of viral videos out there where like panels are literally just falling off the truck. Now, again, nowadays I have to give a little bit of skepticism, right? Like a little bit of support for Tesla. It could be true. Is it like, I don't know. Like it's so easy to create these videos, right, artificially, and maybe it did fall off, but what are the chances that it just randomly happened while someone was actively videoing it? Seems pretty slight to me, right? So someone had to stage this thing. Now maybe it's a recreation of the event that happened. I don't know, but what happens is these videos go viral, right? And then they sort of get a little more press than sometimes they should be warranted. I don't know if that's the case here. All I can tell you is it's happening. It's got news headlines, and the stock is likely to take a hit. I mean, right now, if we look at Tesla, it's not down huge. This is normal movement, I would say, for Tesla pre-market, but it is in a range here. If you look at the daily, where if it gets lower, the 221 we were looking at yesterday to see if it got there, it never, well, sorry, the 231 was a number we were looking at yesterday. It never even got there. I think the low yesterday was 232. Today we're opening up below that, which means 221 is the next number that I'm watching. And you can see the low range that we hit back March the 10th and 11th. If we get down into that low range, it could be problematic. So look, it's fun. It's fun to trade. It's not necessarily good for the stock overall, I suppose, but look, this thing gets volume, it gets momentum. It's in play every single day. So, we'll see what happens. Now, there are Thomas is pointing out here, Tesla's recalling them. From what I saw, the recalls aren't for these panel concerns. They were recalling Cybertrucks for a couple other things. I know there's a brake recall and one other, but recalls are regular.
Happens on every car. Yeah.
Exactly. Like every manufacturer has numerous active recalls on, at any given time. So this is not particularly unique, nor does it look like, it's not like they're recalling 100% of the produced models. It's a very narrow sort of production run. But again, I don't want to overreact to those things, but you need to be aware of it, right? Because again, it's getting outsized attention, of course, because Elon himself has outsized attention on his extracurricular activities outside of his business. So we'll see what happens. Tesla's in play, one way or the other.
Agree 100%. Something else that's come up this morning too is, again, these are claims, so we don't know how true this is, but friends, BYD can charge in 5 minutes 400 kilometers. Now that is a massive move there. That's like almost 5 minutes is like you going to get your car filled up with gas, right? That's a big change. Tesla is at 15 minutes, right? We're only 275. So they released that, I believe, yesterday in China. That's going to be a big problem for Tesla. It's like, Tesla, you're supposed to be the leader in this, and you're falling way behind many of these vehicles, right? So, again, we'll have to see. That's a claim. We have to figure out, test and everything else and see if it's actually true.
Yeah, and this is pretty typical when you get to like that stat that you're showing, Carlos. When you get an area of, a time of active technology update, you're going to have different companies leapfrogging to the front of this, right? And that's good. This is the type of competition you want to spur, right? This is why you want to have lots of competitiveness and sort of open markets, in my opinion, because it drives this type of competition. Definitely Tesla needs to up their game, but who knows, right? I mean, Tesla could have a launch of a new technology coming that's going to rapidly change their, or improvement to their technology that'll leapfrog them to the front. Or, it'll be someone else that jumps to the top, like a Toyota or who knows who else, right? So, yeah, it's interesting that this stuff is happening, and you notice, like, look how everybody's playing with different technologies, whether it's rapid charging, whether it's the battery swap technology, right? That's one they're doing a lot more in China than I don't think we have any. Are there any cars that do a battery swap in North America? I can't
I
think of
don't
one.
think there's any cars, but can you
I don't
imagine
think
taking
they.
out this massive piece of battery, that mechanism
Yeah.
system as you're running around? That's just not a good look. I can see the batteries falling
No.
on the highways everywhere. Yeah, we don't have that. I haven't seen. We don't want that. We have scooters. Scooters
Yeah.
in China, they have the battery swap, but I think that's not a good idea.
Yeah, that's a little different. Yeah. Anyways,
It's a bad
so
idea, Peter. The same way it is to get consumers, regular drivers, flying vehicles. Today, this morning, somebody decided, some dropped off my kids to cut me off because they didn't want to. They were going the wrong way. Decided to cut me off and just to not spend another 5 minutes going around. So you imagine this guy. Oh, I'm not gonna go around this lane. I'm just gonna slam it in because I don't want to be late. It's like, dude, this is the mentality of people, and they're driving. It's just, it's a disastrous idea. Hopefully, it never comes to light. All right, friends,
there you
let's.
go. Carlos has spoken.
Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want regular people flying. No way. Leave it that to the pilots, please. All right, let's
I'll agree on that one.
Tesla heavily in play, friends. Love this stock, and Tesla has been amazing, guys. If you look at it again yesterday, let me just go back here. This is I want to show you this before we move on here. Let's go here back to yesterday. The reversals we're getting on this thing after 12 and 1 o'clock. Same thing yesterday. Look at the support happening here. Nice reversal. I mean, this is a big move after sold off the entire day. Let's go to the day before. This would be, what is today? Tuesday. This would be Friday. Same
Friday.
thing.
Yeah.
Right, Friday, the sell-off, the reversal. So again, it's giving you so many opportunities. Be patient, and Tesla's just been an amazing intraday trading ticker. Top of my list this morning as we continue to sell down here again some more. So definitely adding Tesla to the list. All right, heading back to our trading terminal gappers list this morning. What do you see?
Colton in the chat room said, would my worst nightmare be flying cars with an autopilot that looks like an android that makes me a mixed drink while I'm on my way to where I'm going? Thank you. Now I have a new nightmare.
I
Yes.
trust autopilots more than people, man. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. People are just they make really bad decisions. The autopilot just lands. It's just
Yeah.
yeah. All right, let's take a look. Trading terminal gappers list here, friends. I think we about cover everything. Again, this list is heavy on a quantum today. A lot of quantum stocks down. We found a new quantum stock, QMCO, for us to add to our quantum list to look at. So we'll see how that's playing out there. And then for the most part, I think we cover about everything. You spoke about TEM as well already. So I think we're set. This list continues to grow. There's one that we haven't spoke about here that we like a lot is PLTR. So let's take a look at PLTR.
Yeah.
Yeah, community likes to trade this one. This morning we are down 2.5 million shares traded. Pre-market action looks very decent today, so I will be having this one on my list. Was in the green earlier and now in the red. So again, just like what I'm seeing here, Peter. Anything on PLTR before we go to your list of stuff you like that's gapping down?
I mean, there's no news on it, but you talk about reversals. PLTR is a good example of one that loves to do midday reversals. And if you watch this, like yesterday is a good example. It had a fantastic reversal, and you could pretty much have retraced most of the move. I mean, it had a big move down in the morning, trended sideways, pushed to a new low of day, and then recovered a good portion of it. So you get good moves on PLTR if you're paying attention to it and you can find the right moment. So yeah, I like it. I like it as a trading. So I like it more and more. I mean, I used to not pay much attention to it. I've got it more actively on the watch list nowadays.
Yeah.
So that being said, yeah, not a lot really that I want to focus on, other than, again, all of the Magnificent Seven look like they're in the red this morning. The markets overall here are both still red, not by much, both down about 0.5%. So we're down about 0.5% on these market indices. So again, never assume the direction of the market just based on what's happening pre-market. We've certainly seen this reverse many times. That being said, we've generally been in a downtrending market here over the last couple of weeks, so we know what the overall sort of sentiment is, but at any given day. Like, remember, in downtrending markets is often when you get the largest sort of increases, right? Short-term increases. So, I'm always keeping that in mind, and just watching to see what's going to happen. I like my usual suspects. I do like the semiconductor sector. I think it's in play with this NVIDIA conference, and again, the keynote speaker. So we might be quiet in the morning and then a little more active in the afternoon. Again, I'm just speculating, but we'll see what happens. And then, of course, you've got the Teslas, the Babas, the Apples, and the Microsofts that have been giving us good trade opportunities over the course of the last few weeks. So, pick your poison. We haven't talked about the crypto sector today, largely because it's not doing much. We're still sitting in that $80,000 price range for Bitcoin that I've talked about. That is really sort of a stable. I mean, overnight, it basically bounced between about 81 and 85,000. So that's solidly in that comfort zone that I've talked about, where I think we really need to move out of it for crypto to do something interesting. And other than that, when I look at the gappers list, we it's all some of the usual suspects. Like Archer is on there again, Carlos. It surprises me the volume is continuing to stay high, and then it's on our list.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not a great trader, but there you go. I mean, it's hanging out there anyways. So
Yep, it sure is. Updating my list here, friends. We're adding NVIDIA. Peter talked about it. I think NVIDIA is going to be a lot of fun. Of course, we're adding Tesla to our list. And that's pretty much it. I have QBTS, I have NVIDIA, Tesla. We'll see what else we can add to this list. But I want to get to you guys over in chat. What do you guys like this morning? And let's take a look on what's in play here. So looking up, Tesla is added. Meta, let's check out Meta. Meta doesn't give you a whole line in the pre-market, so it's not much that we can pull off Meta right now as far as pre-market goes. So let's look at the daily. I mean, they've been moving, guys. They've really been moving. They had a couple of really big days here. Their volume is a little bit lighter. We had a great time with Meta with a lot of tickers, but Meta specifically when they were here in January, when they were pushing higher. Right now, their daily seems a little bit quiet over the last couple of days, and since they don't get a whole lot of volume, when they're not really moving like this, they're slightly difficult to trade, right? If they're not trending. So I'm not sure what today's going to look like. We'll have to wait for the market open, see how the volume comes in. Unlike an NVIDIA or a Tesla, you are going to get incredible volume. Even an Apple, as Peter mentioned, in the Magnificent 7. These are looking pretty good today. And look out for news, Peter. We have President Trump talking with Putin this morning, I believe, right? So he has that coming up. So we'll have to see how those conversations go to hopefully stop the what's happening with Ukraine, all that good stuff, and then or bad stuff. And then we also have him talking with the Chinese president either tomorrow or Friday. I can't remember. That's going to be good because it's going to be a lot of tariff talk, of course, with that. So we have to see how the market plays out. So be on the lookout this morning on what comes out of that conversation. It's a phone call they're going to have that is scheduled for some time this morning, I think 10 o'clock. All right, what else, friends? What else you guys like this morning? Let's take a look here. Tesla, NVIDIA, XBEV, good. Liz, Victor's looking at RGTI. Let's take a look at RGTI. Today, they look good. I mean, towards the downside, I don't like the fact that, again, we barely have any shares for sure, like 45,000, but yeah, they do look interesting. I'll add it to my list. RGTI has great volume, 4.5. We are down 7.6 right now. And if you look at their pre-market activity, it looks so clean here. And what I mean by clean for those new traders is you can see how well this is moving here, right? It almost looks like the market is open. So when you ever hear saying, hey, this price action looks clean, it looks like the market is open. It looks every candle is connecting nicely. You got some nice white bodies on here, so that's a lot of fun. Baba looks nice. Let's take a look quickly at Baba. The day looks great on Baba. We had a nice day yesterday, as we spoke about earlier today. Right now, it's pretty quiet, and the volume is lighter than usual, but it's my favorite Chinese ticker, so I'm going to put it on my secondary list here just in case. All right, let's stop here, friends. Peter, take us through what is happening for this beautiful Tuesday evening.
Yeah, let me do this really quickly because I need to go over and help our friends. I'm trading live with our friends at Peak Capital Trading. If you want to accelerate your trading journey, join a Peak Capital Bootcamp. Go to peakcapitaltrading.com and you can find that out. Here on Tuesday at Bear Bull Traders, we have our usual Tuesday. Let's get to it. There we go. Tuesday, strategy and trade book sessions. We have a number of sessions here to help with your trading education on the technical and strategy side. We start at 11 a.m. with Phil, who's doing a small account options trade book. He's going to talk about how you can trade options for a small account. That's today at 11 o'clock. And these are all in the webinar room, all for our elite members, by the way. When Phil's done at 11, or he's done at noon, then Nathan's going to take over, and he's going to talk about Bookmap, which is a technical session about a specific tool, Bookmap, which is a great way to visualize market volume. It's if you don't know about Bookmap or you want to learn more about it, go to that session at noon. It should be a great one. Tonight, then, at 8 o'clock, Lenny is taking over, and he's going to be doing our webinar for the evening, talking about how you can optimize your trades using the opening range breakup. It's one that he uses every single day, and he's going to be able to take that over at 8 p.m. tonight. So hopefully you'll put that on your agenda, understand how Lenny trades it. He is a very consistent trader. He'll talk about how he sees the opening break, and it's good to understand how different people trade that. So many people trade the opening break. It's good to understand different perspectives on how you can potentially approach it. So that's happening tonight. If you want to join us in the chat room, we always have our memberships available. We've got a discount right now. The spring sale is on. If you want to get a 50% discount off of our Elite Annual, you can do that. Just use the code SPRING50 and that will give you that discount. Or if you wanted to just kick the tires, you can join with our intro offer. Carlos, maybe we can look at those. There we go. We got the intro offer coming up. It's $39 for 1 week access. And of course, we got the basic and Elite monthly packages in between. But the Elite Annual is definitely your best deal if you're considering joining at this point. So there you go. That's what we've got happening in the chat room. And hopefully you'll join us then. Carlos, I got to jump off here and leave you as I go help our friends over at Peak Capital. So enjoy the rest of the morning, everybody. Trade smart. And we'll see you back here tomorrow morning. And, of course, throughout the day in the room.
Absolutely, man. Have a great time with the P Capital team there. All right, guys, I see Andrew's on and ready to go. So I'm going to disconnect from chat room so Andrew and Brian can come live here in the member room. Over on YouTube, I'll stick with you. If you guys are interested in seeing Andrew and Brian trade live, you can always join them over in our chat room. So check out the memberships. There's a special discount for you that we'll send a link to the chat right now, so you can always join there and take advantage of their live trading. And they'll be on a little bit later with us and doing some Q&A around 10:30 or so. All right. All right, so friends, let's get some levels done. Let's take a look here. We'll start with QBTS. It's on my list. So if I look at this right now, we have some levels from yesterday, but I'm going to remove those because we do have a little bit of overlap on a couple of these. So I'm just going to take those out of the way, and we're going to start with a fresh list. So right here, top of the pre-market or high of the pre-market, sitting at 1156, so we'll slam one there. Towards the bottom, we're sitting at 960, so that's a good level there as well. We're gonna look to the left here a little bit. We had this beautiful big day on this was Friday, right? Was this Friday? I believe it was Friday. Man, just very, very clean. So again, a lot of stuff happening here. QBTS to the left. We do have a couple of levels here. 905, we'll put one there, and then we have the highs and lows for the last two trading days, kind of overlapping some of the stuff on here. I also want to mark this one here. I think this can be important. This 835, so we'll slam a level there as well. Douglas says Tesla buy. Yeah, I mean, they're clearly on a heavy downtrend, but we'll see how it plays out. I never count Tesla out. I mean, they have a strong following and people love this stock. And we'll have to see. We'll have to see how it does. Let's go to NVIDIA now. So NVIDIA, high of the pre-market, 120.73. We'll slam one there. Towards the bottom, we do have low of the pre-market at 117.75. So that's a good level there as well. And then slightly below that, see how great this level is, by the way. The one we're trying to hold now, low of the pre-market, you can see how much strength you have. There's a lot of touches, a lot of stuff slamming into that. And that is your low of your pre-market right now. So we're trying to find some support there on NVIDIA this morning. Below that, friends, we do have 112.88, and then we also have down here 104. Again, that'll be a stretch, but we got some pretty nice levels on here on NVIDIA. So, man, NVIDIA at 118, that is wild. All right, Tesla here dropping some more, making a new low of the day, guys. So the weakness continues. I'm just going to go to the daily first. I'm going to put a level here at 220.41 and then another one here at 216.81. So we'll do that, and then we'll see where our pre-market low sets up here. We'll come back to that in a second there as it continues to drop lower. High of the pre-market is pretty much what the previous day close is, so we'll do 237.72. And you're pretty much set there. Above that, you do have the highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. RGTI, good pre-market activity right now. 4.6 million shares traded. Again, it's a lot of the quantum stocks after such a big day on Friday are pulling back a little bit this morning. So I love the pre-market on RGTI 10-11. So we'll slam one there. Towards the top, you do have the highs and lows for the last 2 trading days, doing a great job. And then if we drop any lower, 953 can be a nice area as well for RGTI there. All right, that's my list, friends. I do have ADTX, SRPT on my secondary list, just to kind of see how these things play out. Again, like SRPT has horrible news today. One of their medications actually killed someone, unfortunately, and that's no good, right? Supposed to be doing the opposite. So we'll see how that plays out and how the market treats it this morning with such a negative catalyst. I don't think they trade well, but I have it here just to see how that volume is going to treat that stock. QMCO is a new, not new, but it's a recent quantum stock that I haven't never looked at before. So I have it on my list here. Higher price, we'll see where it goes. And then our favorite Chinese ticker, BABA, which did very well yesterday. All right, let's take a look at what our team is watching. I'm going to bring up the website here. You can get a look as well as our chat room. For those that have never seen what our chat room looks like, this would be a good way to show you that. So right now, I'm just going to move Andrew out of the way here and Brian. And I see Andrew's monitoring NVIDIA at the moment. We'll take a look. Here's what our team is watching. I'll keep it up on the screen here for you guys so you guys can look at what Thor, Avi, with the Max 7s and everybody else is watching this morning. Everybody has Tesla on their list except for Eamon. NVIDIA. It's very Max 7 heavy if you look at it. Right, very Max 7 heavy. And again, when the SPY is trending this way, these tickers are going to get the volume. They're going to trade very well. I don't see anything. Apple, POTR, QBTS, we have all of these. AMD, let's take a look at AMD, friends. AMD had a very explosive day not so long ago. Yesterday, they gapped up pretty good. So AMD right now, not much volume. We can always come back to this one if we start getting volume at the market open. What else? I think that's about it. Amazon, we haven't looked at Amazon from our moderators list. Yep. Oh, I like Amazon dropping a little bit. Gonna put that on my secondary. All right, excellent. Let's get our screens all ready to rock and roll. I'm just gonna make sure we do have everything set here. I'm gonna have the 1 minute and my 5 minute. That's what we focus on, and we'll get ready for the market opens, friends. Peter's not joining us today. He's trading live with the P Capital group, guys. If you guys are interested in a boot camp, P Capital is amazing because what you can do there, it's a boot camp. It's a lot of work, but you get small group live trading in an environment where you can actually ask questions like a Google meeting. So it's very, very helpful. Like if you really want to learn, take your trading to the next level, you're struggling, it's a great way to kind of really push things forward. But as I tell people, you have to make sure that you're ready, because it is a lot of work, right? You're just not going to be sitting there and expect it to happen. It's a lot of work, but it's some good work that can help you drastically. Let's take a quick look at the SPY. Matthew, I see your comment. Yep, absolutely. Look at the SPY here. I don't have the 30 minute, but I do have the 60 minute, and it's probably gonna look pretty similar to what the 30 is. We have this consolidation in the pre-market today, right? Just right on here between what I want to call this 566.17 down to 564. So it's an area of obviously support over this entire morning, but overall you see a lot of support and resistance there. So again, we'll see how the SPY does on the daily, which is really what I look at. I look at how the day is doing. Obviously weak, very, very weak, finally getting a bounce here over the last couple of days. Some stocks enjoying that bounce, but if you're Tesla, you're having a struggle getting going here with some more negative news. All right, friends, ding, 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 ding. Let's get rocking and rolling this morning. I'm going to be waiting 5 minutes for a 5-minute ORB, so we'll be patient and wait for that setup to happen. We'll see where the volume is going, so good luck, no FOMO. Manny Ramirez says, Peter ditched us. He did. No, he had to go trade with P Capital, which again, the every moderator takes a turn trading live with them, and that group. So no problem at all. All right, so NVIDIA getting some really nice volume. Looking at Andrew's screen here, what's he doing? He's looking at Tesla. Here's the buying, guys, on Tesla. Here is the buying. 1.3 million and climbing. And you expect this from Tesla after being down a couple of days, right? You are going to get some buyers coming in. People that are short are going to be taking profit, obviously. Let's see if it can stick the landing, though, when it comes to actually staying put here. Pushing higher. Man, Tesla is strong. Very strong, at least the start right now. So we'll see how that can continue. Taking a look at NVIDIA also moving higher. So a little bit of buying out of the gates this morning. QBTS onshore selling restriction, given how much it dropped out of from yesterday to this morning. So onshore selling restriction on QBTS. This might not be a good one for today as far as shorting it. I like going long on these tickers. Looking at Tesla right now, we're trying to hold and push higher. Hopefully not too extended so we can join a 5-minute ORB. I would like to see something pull back here. Nate says Apple is moving. Take a look at Apple. Yeah, nice breakout on Apple here. That looks nice. So nice breakout on Apple at the moment. Trying to get going. Let's look at BABA. So BABA's moving down. Not much volume, very light volume. Last time I traded BABA with this type of volume, I got burned. So we need more volume than this if we're gonna be touching that ticker. So we'll wait and see here. All right, little bit of choppiness right now. I'm gonna be very cautious because I noticed that the first 2 trades I take have been very choppy. The third trade, right, has worked out. And what seems what's happening is later in the morning things are settled down and I'm getting cleaner looks, right? So the 5-minute ORB has not been trading me so well, but these reversals, VWAP breakdown, have been incredible. So we'll have to see. What time is the NVIDIA meeting? I'm not sure, new user. I know they're having conversations. We'll see what they release there. One of the biggest things for NVIDIA is I heard is that they're so behind as Blackwell chip, right? They're like 1.5 years behind on production. So they have orders, but they're a year. You have 1.5 years wait. If they can report that that's moved up, that can be really nice. That's going to be great news for NVIDIA to move up that production. They're ahead of schedule. Maybe even if they say hey, it's just 1 year now, it's just 7-8 months. That's hard to do given the lack of production, but we'll have to see what they report. So that's at 1 o'clock. You said okay, that'll be nice. We'll definitely be looking out how NVIDIA reacts at that time at 1 o'clock. So here's the chop that we've been seeing every morning. The last 2 trading days we've been live here. This chop is the same thing every time. So I'm gonna be very patient today and wait for good clean setups. Tesla seems to be trying to break out here. Do we trust the move? Could it make a new high on this candle here? So that's concerning. We want to see that push higher if it can. Or are we going to see a lot more weakness with the catalyst that we got? Nate says, I don't trade until 9:40. That's a good rule. I don't trade until 9:35, but even 9:35, we have not been getting really great looks. So I've been somewhat cautious of that. I mean, look at this. This is messy, guys. This is messy. So hold on to your ammo. Let's see what's going to take place here. This is a very strong sell. Let's see how this 5-minute candle ends. Like if you look at this is our 5-minute candle here. We're gonna close this candle red. Did not think that was gonna happen. Here's a great example. Also, I want to share this with you as I'm noting this. How VWAP is not really in play for us at the open because we sold off so much in the pre-market. VWAP is not going to be in play. So out of play here when it comes to this actual move. Usually VWAP is right around in this area. Today it's above all the price action, so it's not in play for us at the moment. Wow, look at this sell-off here. So Tesla breaking down, definitely not a long at this point. Let's see if it can hold here. No, my VWAP is not anchored. There are some people that do trade with the anchor VWAP, and it's not that far off. So I've done both. It's not that far off. So try see which one works best for your strategy. I don't think this one better than the other. I just think it depends on the strategy that you're doing. For the 5-minute ORB, not anchored has worked fine for me, right? So, try it. Based on your strategy, you could find something different on your end, right? All right. We keep dropping here. I see Andrew being very patient as well. No trades for him yet. He's not in anything. I can't hear Brian, so he's probably in something. But again, one of those mornings where we have to wait until things settle down here. RGTI pulling back. Tesla really selling off here. NVDA also showing some weakness. Yeah, we'll have to kind of just be patient here. I'm sure Brian took 50 trades. Brian does trade. Brian would say, "Hey, I'm not jumping in a trade." Next thing you know, he's like in 3 trades already. He jumps. He's a very good trader, very good trader. But today I see them both taking their time, and they haven't taken anything just yet. So I'll let you know if they do. Short NVIDIA at the break, Khaled, nice. At the break of the 5-minute ORB, if you took it there, that's a great move. And man, the weakness is coming in heavily. Everything on my screen is red. QBTS, NVIDIA, Tesla. I mean, everything red right now. So things are not looking good. Gonna take a look at the SPY here and see what's happening. Again, the SPY pretty much selling off. And what you're seeing is all these stocks following suit here. Just following the trend at the moment. The question for me is, are we going to hold this, or are we just going to get one of these like early morning sell-offs and then we're going to take off, right? That is the thing to watch for, and I would love to be a part of any kind of push higher here this morning. PLTR, same situation, man, just been selling off, and look at this drop from 85 to 82, so that's nice. Hopefully you took that, Prana. Hopefully you took a trade on that. All right, patiently waiting here. RGTI trying to find a support. NVIDIA also trying to find some kind of support here. QBTS turning the corner. ADTX was a high flying one for us this morning, up 24%. Right now, 13 million shares traded, but at the moment, again, just looks messy. I wouldn't touch it. And where's that ticker that had the accident? SRPT was the one with the news of somebody passing away, and they're not doing anything good. So they're just not getting no volume whatsoever. So that's not really in play. All right, the entire list down right now. Baba also down, everything down. We are probably going to be looking for some kind of reversal because 5-minute ORB is out of the picture right now. So somewhat of a reversal. And as I mentioned before, keep in mind that the VWAP is so far out of play right now. Usually your VWAP would be right around here, right? If you don't sell down during the market open, during the pre-market, but we've been selling down so much, we got to be mindful that the VWAP might not be the best indicator right now, right? So just keep that in mind. All right, what are you guys in this morning? What trades have you guys taken? Have you found anything good? And when you tell me your trade, tell me like, sure, but tell me the strategy too, because I want to picture, okay, how did you trade this, right? Tell me your strategies. I'm always interested to see how you guys took some trades here and what the strategy actually was. Tesla also having a hard time. RGTI, yeah, trying to bounce back here. I don't have a strategy at the moment for this bounce back. My strategy is usually above the VWAP, confirmation, and then the breakout, or the 5-minute ORB. But here I don't have a play, given the sell-off that has taken place right now. So took NVIDIA short after it broke the pre-market low. Very nice. I had TSL short as a rising devil. Very nice. Very nice. Great trades. Andrew still in nothing. Again, just kind of tells you what kind of morning it is, right? So this drop happened very suddenly. Tesla heading lower, my friends. Man, Tesla is gonna go what, 200? You guys think? Tesla is having such a bad time. This battery thing, by the way, is not good. You know, it's not good. Like the fact that somebody else is making, a Chinese company on top of that. For those that missed it, I showed it to you here this morning, Bloomberg. A Chinese company doing it faster than you are. And yeah, I know that Tesla is probably working on something, but it just seems to be that the next shoe keeps dropping on this ticker. And we're seeing the reaction this morning as the stock shows a lot more weakness. And the daily, we're coming up at a support right over here. Let's mark this. So right over here, 216.97. Here we have a couple of days opening and closing 224.81. We'll mark that. We just are slightly below that now. So let's see if we can get some support off some of these levels we have here in play this morning. BYD is eating their breakfast. They sure are. They sure are. BYD is doing some pretty cool stuff. They're pushing the envelope. But this is just their claim, their initial claim. We gotta see, can that really come to fruition, right? Can they really charge an entire battery for 400 kilometers in 5 minutes? Or is the battery gonna have problems, right? There's still so much unknown when it comes to that there. Friends over on YouTube, if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up. It really helps us out a ton to stay live here for you guys going to the market open. Brian and Andrew up next around 10:30, and then we also have Paris and Avi up around 11 o'clock. So we got a whole show all the way till noon. Stick with us. Ask your questions. We'd love to answer them and see how you're doing, but definitely hit that thumbs up. It helps a ton here. All right, NVIDIA, this is where Andrew, I said it, this is where Andrew will be getting long. I looked over. Andrew is long. You know, you hang out with someone so much, you know kind of their trading style. So Andrew is long on this push that we're getting up on NVIDIA. Tesla is doing the same thing here, getting a little higher move. I like Tesla for a possible reversal here. I don't think it'll last long, but I think they can make it up to VWAP. Stop loss below 223.40, right? The low here. Not the best risk to reward. That'll probably be like a 1 to 1.5, 1.8. That's not ideal, actually. The high of the day would be a better target, but I don't think we can get past the VWAP. Let's see if we could hold, or maybe we wait for a double bottom. I think after seeing this candle drop, we're going to wait for a double bottom. We're going to wait for something a little more concrete. Are we going to actually push higher here? If we don't make a new low, it's another opportunity. Like if we come down, don't make a new low, it's another opportunity to go long here. But Tesla, NVIDIA, the market pushing higher. I like the way this candle is forming here. The buyers are stepping in there. Oh, I'm not showing you guys the 1 minute. I'm sorry. Here's the 1 minute. Right, here's what I'm looking at right now. For a possible long back to the VWAP or the high of the day. But let's just wait for a little more confirmation. But that's the trend I'm going to be looking for, guys. Tesla long. I think we're getting extended, right? The sell-off, even though the stock is weak, I think this sell-off is very aggressive. There's definitely going to be probably some relief to the upside. So let's see. Let's see how it goes here. Checking some comments over on YouTube. Wow, falling like this at the bottom of a correction. When is it going to stop? This is crazy. Europe market is much better than US. It's uncertainty, man. AB. It comes down to uncertainty, especially with these tariffs, with the war in Ukraine. Like you add up all these things, it just creates more uncertainty. And the market, everyone thinks that it hates its uncertainty. It completely hates being uncertain of what's happening, where the economy is going, and also inflation. Inflation is still pretty high. So you put those things together, put them in a bowl and shake them around, and you're going to get what you're getting right now. Not a good situation. And then there's some individual stocks that have their issues, right? Like a Tesla, has a lot of problems right now with a lot of bad headlines. But for the most part, this sell-off you're seeing here is just market related. This is just the entire market is selling down. When things like this happen, I always have my eye on the SPY, because the SPY is going to dictate what we're going to turn around, right? that's what's going to happen. So everything right now, red. Like if you look at my list this morning, QBTS, NVIDIA, Tesla, RGTI, it's just all in the red. And one of the problems we had this morning is that it sold off so fast, it didn't give us an opportunity to take a short on this. And I'll be honest, I was short. I was not looking for a possible short just because we sold off so much in the pre-market. I did not want to get caught in some kind of profit taking or squeeze just because the sell-off was so aggressive. But this short really, like on Tesla, came out of nowhere, immediate drop. So I was definitely not expecting that. Didn't think that was the potential outcome. On the 1 minute on Tesla, again, want to be patient. I don't want to jump the gun here. You're somewhat getting a 1 minute, a 1 minute double bottom. Now, I'm not a big fan of the 1 minute double bottom, but let's see. You're getting something there at the moment. Maybe that can be a playback to VWAP if we can get going. All right, taking a look at Bloomberg, see if there's any news and headlines that can change things up a little bit. It looks like is Trump meeting with Russia now? Is that happening? That could also be. What time is their meeting? Anybody know? What time Trump is meeting with Putin? Is it a meeting or a call? I thought it was a call. Nothing yet. Definitely got to see what comes out of that. Okay, so Tesla is having a tough time to get going here. So nothing yet. Choppiness. Andrew is doing some stuff here on a PLTR. Trying to hold again, just everything, the sell-off and just trying to hold. And I'm not a great reversal trader, so it's not my thing. I like the 5-minute RB and the VWAP breakdown or loss of a breakout or breakdown. These are, I find them a little bit tricky. So know your strengths. Don't go pushing things if they're not there for you. Trust me, I want to trade. I'm seeing the volume and everything moving. I want to trade, but I'm not going to push something that doesn't make sense and doesn't give us the best opportunity. Rigetti spaghetti. Who mentioned Rigetti? Rigetti, nice. Somebody mentioned, I hope you took it, man. Look at this beautiful breakout. So quantum stocks trying to do something here. At least Rigetti is. Beautiful push up. That's nice. Tesla trying to hold. I want to take Tesla long, guys. I really do. I think it's trying to hold here. But you know what's going to happen? It's going to happen so quick that if you don't get a good entry, you're just going to end up chasing it. But the risk to reward here, based off the law of the pre-market, is really good. Because you got the risk right over here. At least try to get a high of the day. That looks good. But, man, this stock it's a tough one given everything that's happening. NVDA also trying to hold. We are going to get a reversal here. We just got to wait for the right signals and a good confirmation. And not hesitate too much to pull the trigger because things are just going to go. And they're not going to give you a chance to really jump in. In a situation like this, I am looking at the SPY because I do want to see. I want the SPY in my favor on a day like today. I don't want to go against the SPY, I tell you that much, right? The SPY right now is the one kind of pushing everyone around. And I just don't want to go against what the SPY is doing this morning. So I am looking at it. I am putting more weight on it than what I normally would just because that reason, right? So Tesla looks positive. I'm looking at NVIDIA and Tesla for a possible reversal. They both are doing the exact same thing. I'm trying to see which one looks better, but they're both like right there. So we'll see. Tesla might be a little bit nicer if we got to do it. We got, see, Tesla's trying to go. NVIDIA's probably got a better risk to reward. So dollar down there, it's not bad. On the 5-minute, if you look at the 5-minute, we're somewhat getting a little bit of engulfing pattern if we can close a little bit higher. So that's another confirmation we could use as well. But I think waiting for that engulfing, you're going to miss an opportunity to get a really good entry here if we are going to go long. It's going to be better confirmation, but you might miss a couple of cents there, which is not good for these reversals. All right, there's a new 5-minute candle. Yeah, you know, I like this one. Let's go long. Let's go long here. Let's see if we can get going, right? Stop loss is below this engulfing pattern we have here, so around 160, never at the right on there, because I think that they love to test and stop you out, so always slightly below the support. And let's see if we can hold, like, I'm on 115 60. Wait, below this candle here, below this one, you don't want to go below that. Let's see if we could hold. We just got to follow our plan, stick to our stop, and try to get to the VWAP. I would love 117, but we need the SPY to help us, and the SPY is actually pulling back, so that's not good. The SPY needs to support our move here, because that is what everybody is following. Carlos, do you take into account pre-market when looking at the EMAs? What do you mean? Do I take account pre-market when looking at the EMAs? Elaborate a little more. Like the EMAs at during the pre-market time. Just want a little more detail on that. Just make sure I answer it correctly. The EMAs are different if you take account. Oh, okay. In the study, yes. I don't know what we did on mine. I just copied whatever Andrew had when I first started, and I haven't touched it. I don't believe mine's included. You know what? I'll have to check, to be honest. I set that up so long ago, literally probably like 7 years ago, 6 years ago, and I probably don't remember how I have that set up. So we'll have to take a look on how that is actually made there. All right, so NVIDIA is pulling back here. Let's see if we can hold this low. If we cannot hold this area here, then man, we might be in for some real sell-offs today. But market is trying to hold as well, and if we can, yep, here we are. We're reaching our stop. We don't want to go below one this week over here, which is around 160. So let's see. Yep, we're gonna stop out. All right, we'll stop out here at the low of the day, and we'll wait to see for more confirmation. But the market is selling back down. Andrew took PLTR, took a partial at 83. He got in around 82.40, took off at 83, and he's still in it, I believe. So that PLTR actually did the best reversal possible. Let's see, PLTR. Yeah, didn't really get going, but had a better engulfing than NVIDIA did, right? If you look at my engulfing and NVIDIA, it wasn't as clean as the other one. So let's see what it does here. And trading the individual stocks affects the SPY. Trading the individual stocks does affect the SPY. It's just an indicator, right? So whatever the underlying stocks are doing, that's what the SPY is somewhat reflecting. But think about sentiment, Ricardo, when you think about that, right? So for example, if we're sitting here and many people are sitting here, they're looking at the market sell, their sentiment becomes weak. So what they want to do is they want to sell. They want to get out of the trades, right? So yes, it's like the cart before the horse, right? If you want to say it that way. But it's the sentiment that it gives out to people. People start selling, right? Because and then people selling, they create even more selling, right? So it's the dynamic and psychology of the market is very weird, but you're right. That is how that will work out. It's just the underlying of whatever those stocks are doing. Like when you look at IWM, same thing. Whatever underlying stocks are doing, that is what you're gonna reflect on the overall SPY. All right. I'm looking at NVIDIA. It's starting to come back up again. I can get a better entry here if we go long, but I don't see the SPY pushing higher. I don't want to go against the SPY. I just don't trust that this thing can do it on its own. What are other stocks doing? Tesla. We're stuck in this chop here, and everything is just kind of going sideways. Like, you look at this 1 minute chart, everything is going sideways right now. We are going to get a breakout, but what happens in this situation is so hard to trust the breakout because all you're seeing is sideways action. So when do you think that it's going to actually break out? It's the really tough part to do here when you're stuck in chop, and that's what we're seeing right now. 6 minutes to 10 o'clock, so we still plenty of time, guys, to get a nice reversal back up to VWAP. Let's see what the next couple of minutes do here, but I don't think we're going to continue to sell off as much, just because we sold off so much already. I think there might be some relief here, but maybe we're too early to the party. That could be it. We might be too early to the party, friends. We'll have to give it a little more time. All right, over on YouTube, how many likes do we have? I mean, we're sitting at 236 likes, so a little bit low. We got 956 people watching. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. But please hit that thumbs up. Again, it helps us out. I wouldn't be asking because I know people forget. You know what? And I personally haven't hit the thumbs up. That is ridiculous. I'm asking for something I haven't done. So apologies. I just did. So I'm with you there. I'm asking for something that I have done myself, which that is the right thing to do. All right, let's see what else. Weakness on NVDA. Tesla also sideways actions. RGTI sideways. QBTS, NVIDIA. These are tough markets. Oh, hey, look at that. ADTX was not our low flow of the day, but they were like 90 million shares float, lower price. Very, very good move. But this is horrible to trade. These type of actions are not good as far as volume. Look at that. Nothing here. Probably got halted. It's just not good. Less than 1 million shares. It's not great. So we'll leave that alone. CRPT, nothing. QMCO. Quantum stocks, QMCO trying to push higher above the VWAP here, so that's good. Melanie, good to see you. If you don't throw up Google, I'm going to start. Let's take a look at Google. What do you have on Google? Oh, wow. Look at that. What is going on? That's not good. I mean, the market is selling off, but these guys are just selling. Like they're serious about their selling this morning. Down 3.2, 3.5 million. And that's GOGL should be even more volume, a little bit more volume. That's some really nice selling. Yeah, QBTS treated me very, very well. I sold everything off yesterday. I was looking to hold long term, but when I saw that, okay, we got some weakness here. We got to 11, which our target was around there. This is for a swing trade I took of a couple of weeks, and it's just like, okay, let's just sell everything. Comes back down to 5. I'm definitely going to go long again. So we'll go long there for another, not 5, like $6, because I got in at 590 and it did very well. So quantum stocks, they'll be nice here if they can get going. Oh my goodness, here we go. Everybody long is getting stopped out because it's just as Brian says, the humanity. Man, what is going on, friends? These are the bulls right now. If you're sitting bullish, this is what's happening at the moment. This is fine. All right. This is wild. Wow, we are really having a tough time. This market is really struggling. The humanity, friends, if you're new to trading, this is the type of days where you're going to learn a lot, but do not force your will on the market. Like if you feel that long, if you're like a reversal traders have the toughest time during this time, just because their job is to look for reversals. I'm not a big reversal trader. I had one stop out here. That's all. We're going to sit tight and wait for another opportunity on something different. But if you're a reversal trader, you're brand new, just be mindful that yes, it can go lower, right? It can go lower, and we're seeing that right now. My goodness. So what you think is going to happen is one thing. What actually happens and how you trade is a completely different. I think the market was going to go out, but that's not going to sell anymore. But I'm very good at knowing that what I think doesn't mean anything opposed to what actually takes place, right? So know how to differentiate the two is very, very important. Yeah, it's people are not the big money is not too happy here. RGTI, man, I like this breakout, this possible breakout. I don't like the volume, but this looks like it wants to go. Like this is setting up nicely. The 5 minute, if you guys look at this, looks great. That is a great 5 minute setup here. I don't like the volume. It looks like quantum stocks are doing their own thing because RGTI went all the way from 990, pushed up to about 1030. So it's doing its own thing here as it's pushing higher. But the lack of volume is going to prevent me from taking this trade here. Apple. Let's take a look at Apple. What's going on there? Apple's going the other way. Notice how light the volume is though, right? And Apple's not trading clean at all. Like this looks slightly messy, very wicky. right? So Apple's, which is great because Apple is going against the grain here, right? Everything is south, and Apple is trying to hold here, which is nice, right? So I think, as I heard someone mention this, people start looking for companies that they know are not going to go bankrupt when things are like this, when things go down. They'll start looking at Apple, which is not as volatile as Tesla or NVIDIA. They're very volatile, right? So to hold big money there is hard. But like an Apple, maybe Microsoft. How's Microsoft doing? Down a little bit here, but look at the volume, just not really buying into the sell-off. So people start doing that, start going to what they call their safe havens. This is why gold keeps pushing higher. These are all things that people like to do when they got to bail on their money here. Look at NVIDIA, the weakness, 114. Wow. NVIDIA is going to rebound. Justin talks today. Historically, it goes up 5% to 10%. He has good news on new Blackwell version chip. AB, that will be the difference maker when it comes to NVIDIA. Again, they're about a year and a half behind, last time I checked, on their production. If they're able to say, hey, we 12 months, 8 months, under a year, NVIDIA is gonna pop up because that's their big money maker, right? That's what they are putting out there to make tons of money. So if they're able to do that, that's gonna be great. That's at 1 o'clock, right? You guys mentioned, so we'll be on the lookout for that in a couple of hours and just see how that plays out here, right? Apple Bulls are Spartans who got a Weibo account. No, Apple's holding. Apple's holding pretty good here. Let's take a look at the daily on Apple. I mean, they sold off quite a bit as well, like everybody else, but they're holding pretty nice here, well below their 200 moving average. I mean, Apple has been beat up pretty bad here. Not like Tesla. Tesla has been taken to the woodshed. I mean, these guys are just getting hammered. All right, seeing some strength here. Let's see. Seeing some strength. On the lookout for a possible reversal here. Here's a good entry on Tesla. NVIDIA, on the other hand, maybe it's not, might not be the one for a reversal today. We have to wait for this news to come out. But Tesla, on the other hand, looking slightly better for a possible reversal if we are going to hold. So looking at Tesla, let's see if we can get something going here. We didn't make a new low, which I like to see. So no new low on the 5-minute, and slightly making higher highs on the 1 minute. So that's good there. If we can get above some of these moving averages, but we're going to sit tight. We're going to wait. We're going to be patient and not rush it, because today it's a tough area we're in, whether to go short or long. It's a really tough spot at the moment. It's not really a good setup. Their personal AI unit launched this month. Whose personal AI unit? Apple. They did horrible, man. Apple with their AI. Have you guys read that? They actually pushed it back. They pushed back their Siri AI integration or whatever, because it wasn't doing what they were supposed to, right? So that's not good news, and that's why you saw that big drop on Apple over the last couple of days. They pushed it back into 2026. So and again, I like the Apple products. I think they're pretty good. I got a bunch of them, and I love them. They last forever. I still have we have one Mac that's from like 2013. It still works perfectly, right? I have a more newer one that I use, which is MacBook Pro from 2019, and it's just work, right? So they're pretty good at that. But man, Siri sucks. It sucks so bad. It is brutal. Like Google Voice is light years ahead of Siri. Alexa is light years ahead of Siri, right? Everything is light years ahead of Siri. So Siri needs to get it together, and they got to do some. They waited too long to make upgrades to this thing, and everybody else is getting ahead when it comes to the AI assistant bot, or whatever you want to call it, right? So they're just brutal. And I like the product. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking on Apple. I really like the product, but Siri is just brutal. It really is. Let's see here. Tesla. I think Tesla wants to go, guys. I really do think so. Maybe a reversal here if we can get above some of these moving averages. I think this wants to be some relief here back up to VWAP. I got a good entry here with a good risk to reward, so I'm going to take this one here. Let's see if we can get going. Stop loss for me is going to be below these candles. This is the support you're getting here, so I definitely don't want to make a new low below anywhere here, especially this area. Do I got the 1 minute up? Yeah. Like if we go below here, we're struggling, right? Here's where the support is. We did dip a little lower there. We can use this one as well. It's not too far off, just 50 cents. So that's not bad. But let's see if we can get going. SPY put in a green candle, so hopefully the sentiment could be that we push higher here. If we chop around, this could be a while until this actually takes place. Hoping that the sentiment doesn't drop on the SPY and we continue to push lower. So, but I do like the setup here. Not an ideal trade, it's probably a category B type trade for me especially. But I think we got something going here. Let's see if we can, if it turns out the way we expect it to. Intel going green. Intel's been a player. Intel's been like doing some stuff. Yeah, higher highs, higher lows here. That's good. It's trying to hold above the previous day close. Intel gets volume, but man, Intel is a tough stock to trade. Oh, sorry, I don't have it up. Have the wrong 5 minute chart here. Let me move to the 5 minute. Here, I have it right over here. There you go. So it's a tough ticker, man. It's not an easy one, that's for sure. I don't like the price action on it. I think it's very difficult at times to trade. So I usually stay away from it. But yeah, in the green, trying to stay above the green. Let's see if it can do that. Do you look at market internals when making a call on the SPY, like add, cold or tick? No, I don't look at market internals, man. I'm just strictly trading price action, to be honest. We're just trading price action. I'm looking at patterns, looking at the price action to determine, okay, where's the next best move possible, right? Well, based on my setup, looking at the level 2 to make sure there's not a big imbalance against my favor. Sometimes I don't get anything from the level 2, you know, on some certain strategies. But that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at just strictly price action, right? It's more of a momentum trader than anything else, really. So, ADTX, ADTX up 74% and climbing. Look at this thing. It's probably going to get halted again. Wow. Look at this thing here. Hold on. Let me bring it to you guys. Right over here. Look at this thing. Man, this is... They're fun to watch, but I have lost so much money on these tickers. I really stay away from them. I made some good money on some, but I lost more than what I made on these low flow flying stocks, man. So just be careful if you're in it. Have a strategy. Risk management is everything. So just make sure your risk management at some point on these things here. So let's see if it can get to 8, and it'll get halted at 805 if it can push there. Anyone take that in chat? Anyone take this trade here? Anyone do well on this one? That is a massive move right now. Low flows are dangerous. Yeah, they are, man. They're not horrible, but they're dangerous. Like, you have to know what you're doing. And to be honest, you know what it is because again, I was a new trader just like everybody else. The fact that when you start out and you can take a boatload of shares and you start thinking about how much you can make, like literally you could take, 1,000 shares here, right? And you can make $1,000 if you get to 8. That is very attractive when you start thinking like that. And as new traders, as we're thinking about how much you can make, that crosses your mind. 100% crosses your mind. So you got to be mindful of that. Hi, Carlos. When is the spring sale going to go on? Probably another week or so. Because I think we're in spring break now, right? Some people take spring break now. Other people take it. My kids get it like in April or something. So, or maybe more than that, actually. Maybe 2-3 weeks. And again, they don't tell me, but you're probably gonna have it for a while. But don't wait, man. If you're interested, just hop on it and see and take advantage of it. See, this is where people get caught, right? Oh, the breakout's happening, and then look, boom, drop right here. Where's the 1 minute? There it is. A 40 cents drop. That's brutal for a lot of people. And if you took a big size, that's $400, right? So you got to be very, very careful if you're going to be doing something like that. So be very, very mindful of that. All right, let's see what's going on around the chat. Andrew's not in anything right now. I don't see him in any trade. So again, he even walked away from his station. So he's away right now, taking a break. He had a couple of trades, but nothing has really ran. Excellent. My Tesla trades just trying to hold on here. So below this area, we'll definitely get out. We don't want to be. See, it came right to test that again. Buyer stepped up again, so that's a good sign. But what's not a good sign is that we have not made a new high. So this right here, that's not good, right? So that's indicating some weakness. The moving average are moving down a little bit. So that's definitely not in my favor at all. And again, once we kind of die down a little bit, Tesla's going to probably move away from the overall market and do its own thing. And Tesla really doesn't have great sentiment right now. Like their sentiment is brutal. Some people think this thing is going to go down to 200. So might just be the case. We're just looking for a small pop to 226 if we can get it. And we would care less where it goes in 3 days. It could be down to 200, 180. Doesn't matter to us. Just give us a little move up and we'll be happy with that if we can get it. Carlos, does the volume play a role in whether or not you take a trade? Yes, it does. We're momentum traders. We need volume, right? If you're not getting the volume, it could be hard to read the price action. So, for example, let's say which one doesn't have volume? Let's look at this one has volume. One that doesn't have volume today. Perfect. SRPT. Pull that one up to take a sip of water here. So if you look at SRPT, there's no way to read the price action on here. You're not getting anything on the level 2. Let's bring this over here, right? You're not getting no movement here. The time in sales is horrible. And although, yes, you're getting patterns on the candle, like look at this pattern here, right? That's great. But you're not getting fast enough movement to kind of build a story on it, right? So you're not getting that. So it's very, very difficult to read the price action. I mean, it's so, right? Let's look at it. It's just, there's nothing happening. So volume is key, right? This thing is doing, every 5 minutes is doing about, I'll tell you right now, give me a second, 170, right? 170,000 shares every 5 minutes, right? That's not worth it. That's not worth it. So you need to be able to get good volume to read the price action. So sometimes you might see that chart and you say, oh man, that was a great ABCD pattern. Yeah, but how did that ABCD pattern trade? Were you able to take an opportunity on that ABCD pattern? Right? So you got to be mindful of that. That's important. So this is why volume is key. That's why a lot of traders you see, a lot of books are like, oh, trade the first hour of the open. They trade the momentum stuff. Not that there's no opportunities later in the day. There surely is, but the market opens, so you're going to have this heavy volume. Now, this market open, unfortunately, we've been getting, a lot of sell-off, a little bit of chop on many tickers, so we're not seeing great moves. At least, let me rephrase that. I haven't found great moves for me, right? But there are some great moves there. If you took short anything from the market open, you did very well. But for the most part, you haven't seen a really clean move to the upside this morning. Good morning, Andrew. How you doing today?
I am doing good, sir. How are you doing?
Good. Good morning, Brian. Let me hop off the mic because the chat room can't hear me. And Brian, if you can, turn off your mic and chat, and I'll turn mine on.
Yeah, I did. I turned my mic is off in chat, I think.
I still
It's
see it going
muted.
here.
I can
No.
do it for him.
Oh,
Yeah, because then this way we don't get the echo.
I see it. Okay. Oh, sorry, my mic.
Awesome.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, it's
There
all
you
good.
go. Sorry.
I think you turned it back on, Brian.
No, because we did it at the same
What?
time. I'll do it after.
There you go. All right.
Perfect.
Excellent.
All
Okay,
right.
perfect, guys.
So I am down. I had a couple of trades in YouTube, guys. I unfortunately didn't go well, so I'm pretty down. Brian had a good trade on Tesla. I don't know if he's green or red.
Yeah, no, I'm green on the day. I had a nice move on Tesla. And you were the one who kind of called it out. Although I was watching it, was trying to figure out what it was going to do. I was watching that and NVDA. And NVIDIA had a nice drop as well. So I had 2 trades going there at one point. All right, that's we should be getting, or at least Jensen Wong should be going on CNBC right now.
Hopefully Jensen would save us.
Well, let's
Because the
see.
president really ruined the
I think
party.
he's got a keynote. He's doing a keynote address here later in the day, so I don't know how much he's going to reveal, if you want to call it that, on this interview with CNBC. But I'm sure he's going to be talking their products up. Yeah, nice trade on Google. That was man, that was what a clean sell-off that was. Let's take a look at some of the other stocks. Yeah, Meta had a nice clean sell-off.
All right, the party is not over yet. I think if the Qs hit the 473, you might be able to catch a reversal on it. And I'm looking at, keep an eye on TQQ. Party officially is not over yet.
Some stocks that are holding up. Apple is flat on the day. It's just a chop fest.
Yeah, Tesla is also not having a fun time.
AMD is a chop fest. AMD is interesting from a swing perspective because it's really, these sell-offs are not affecting AMD. They're just AMD is just kind of brushing them off for the most part. Might be heading a little lower here right now. It does look like we're trying to hold here. Qs. SPY might be putting in a double bottom. Too early to call that, but it is trying to hold this 560, 50 level.
All right, Tesla is holding 220.
Yeah, Tesla does. Tesla does have a lot more orders to the downside and really nothing to the upside.
Elon Musk, Elon Incorporation.
Yeah, no, Peter, it's absolutely, yeah. I mean, AMD had gotten beat up so much prior to this sell-off that there's just doesn't seem to be a lot of sellers left. It's kind of what it seems like.
Not much love going on in the market. I think I have a feeling that there is one trade left in me. I'm just trying to see if Qs drop a little bit more.
SRPT was, I looked at that this morning. It didn't really didn't have much going on in the pre-market, so I didn't really watch it. But I think that was one of the ones that was gapping down a lot.
So Mushta was asking why there's a need to watch the candles as being formed. Sometimes watching these candles and order flow that is happening through them gives you some feeling. I think there's a software that I think it's called something print that not only shows you the candle, because these candlesticks are dead, but in what happens when the candle was live. What is it called? Footprint? Footprint. Yeah, footprints shows exactly what happened within that. Sometimes you can get futures traders use that a lot to see what happens within these candlesticks when they are actually alive. The order flow can tell you a lot of things. For me, it's more like based on experience and gut feeling that you know what's going to happen. But if you want to really have a systematic look at it, like a microscope. The footprint is doing that. I used to have a course with them. I have to go and finish them. It was a really, really good course. I don't know if that company is still in business or not. But essentially,
I've never heard of it.
they can tell you a lot of things. Piece of garbage. PLTR is going up.
Lucid, what's Lucid doing? Lucid's green on the day. That's interesting.
Rapid Trader, 6 years with us, huh? Rapid Trader, you've been trading with us for 6 years. Wow.
PLTR's trying to
Jeffrey, you are
make a bit of a
6
move
too.
here.
Wow, you survived, huh? You must be lifetime. You must be lifetime. 5 years there, yeah, amazing. Well, congratulations on surviving this. I'm gonna get back on NVDA at 42.50. It looks like market is bouncing. Fucking Tesla is going back. Tesla's, yeah, market
Yeah, it's
seems that it's
probably
kind of bouncing.
maybe Jensen's talking up NVIDIA right now.
Oh,
I'm
Georgia
sure.
7 star. Wow. What's the secret that you're surviving this war for 7 years, George? I love that. We have a lot of people surviving this. All right, I'm gonna get some long TQQ 59.77 and an NVIDIA long as well at 42.50. Let's see if market CQs came down to the penny to 473. Dan, 7 years, Dan. 7 years. Yeah, we started Bearable Traders in 2017, I think, huh? Yeah. All right, so I'm long TQQ and I'm long NVDL. Let's get something out of this time.
Let's get some action happening.
Yeah, thanks guys for trading and trusting like 6-7 years. It actually feels really good that we still have a lot of members of those old good times. I've changed a lot. Like I was watching some of my old recaps. Fuck, man, like who the fuck I was trading at YouTube and stuff, like making $50 a day, posting recap, like, oh, I made $50 a day. What a journey.
That's funny.
Journey. Now losing $2 million a day.
Yeah, that's quite the journey. Well, look at PLTRs bouncing up here. Okay, no positions for me right now. Just going to see what we do with this bounce here. PLTR rejecting at the VWAP.
All right, so let's see if this bounce is going to work or not.
Going short. I'm short again, Tesla, at this VWAP, the VWAP here. See if we get a rollover on this.
All right, so I'm long TQQ, guys. Let's see if TQQ can pop up to 60.
I'm going to get stopped out on this trade probably, unless it's just I'm just looking for rejection here, better rejection than we're getting right now. I'd like to see it come back down to these moving averages, 224.
Right. So get the RGTI. Look at that picture, Samir. Wow, I love that picture. Let me take a picture of that. Yes, 2nd, 2017. Wow. So Google is hitting the scanner. I think Google was really down today, huh? 4% down.
Yeah, Google had that announcement about that company where it's going to buy, wants to buy that
Cybersecurity whiz, yeah. It was,
cybersecurity company. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Here we go, Tesla. We're going to cover some here at 8:10. Just sticking with these 225 puts.
sorry, it's notification. I need to stop this notification.
It came down to where I was expecting, right down to those moving averages. So I got out of a lot of it. Okay, I'm getting out of the rest of it. I lost a little bit on that slippage. So anyway, that's okay.
PLTR bounced back very nicely.
Still made money on that trade. Yeah, PLTR is bouncing back nicely.
I'm long TQQ and NVDA. Let's see if the market wants to do what PLTR is doing. James Wang.
Like it's trying to, the Qs are trying to creep back up here.
Come on, TQQ. Come on, NVDL. Bitcoin is at 81,000. Oil is at $67. Canadian dollar got stronger. I think inflation in Canada ticked up a little bit.
Yeah.
So, Mujtaba, how do you manage your emotion in trading? It's there's a lot of things going into that. The most important part is you really try to trade within your comfort zone. Like when I had this big position on TQQ, like TQQ, like I had about like $3-4 million of TQQ. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't even sleep. Like in the middle of the night, I was waking up and see if there is any news on that kind of thing. So obviously, I was on leverage on something that I was not really comfortable within. Same goes to day trading. So if your positions are not really within your comfort zone, is impact your mental well-being. Yeah, best loser wins. I need to read that, Amy. I know it has a very, very good rating. All right, so NVDA is popping up the TQQ. Let's see if NVIDIA can pop back up above 43. PLTR really growing back up.
Yeah, PLTR's had a nice move back. NVIDIA's moved back nicely. Yeah, the SPY is SPX is looking pretty interesting. Well, at least you can say we're not selling off anymore. That's one thing.
So yeah, NVIDIA is popping up. Let's see if NVIDIA, I'm still long NVIDIA, guys, through NVDL. Let's see if TQQ also popping back up. It's the most boring day in the market. It's not fun. Nothing is set
We're kind
up.
of stuck.
Yeah.
We're kind of stuck between the 9 and the 20 EMA right now, and the moving averages maybe heading lower now.
Yeah, tomorrow is a Fed day. Hopefully,
Yeah,
Uncle Powell says
Fed
something.
decision. Nobody's expecting any kind of a move in terms of rate hikes or rate cuts. It's more about the dot plot. But oh yeah. Yeah, Tesla's kind of in a funny area. It's sort of below the VWAP, stuck in these moving averages. Still some big orders to the downside. Yeah, what is no worries, Yasmin. We come around 10, 15, I guess, 10:30.
Today is
So
everything
SPY
seems
is still struggling. Still struggling here to make get any movement, but they're kind of stuck in a range right now.
Tesla is having some activity below the VWAP. NVIDIA is slowly
Yeah,
popping
just
up.
trying
Nice.
to bounce.
Yeah, again, guys, remember I'm long NVDA and TQQ. Big orders.
Yeah, Tesla might. I know, and I think NVIDIA was going to talk about self-driving cars and robots and
Self-driving cars and robots.
God, this is how old I am. I remember when NVIDIA was trading at like a couple of, like $12, $15
AMD is $7, $8.
before splitting because it's split a couple of times, or it's split at least once.
So we're happening. I'm still long NVDA and I'm still long TQQ.
Yeah, it seems like we're getting a bit of a bounce here.
What's the AMD doing? We haven't heard from AMD for a long time, but that's 100, huh?
Yeah, AMD it's not doing anything. I like it's just hanging out. It's as I said before, it's during this whole sell-off, it's actually been holding up pretty well. Hasn't really done much, but that's only because if you look at the weekly chart, I mean, it's been selling since October. It's been selling off. So a lot of the air got taken out of AMD before we had this sell-off.
It is hitting the scanner. RDDT. Look it on a weekly chart. It was like wild.
Yeah, let's got a MP mentioned ADTX. Is that low float du jour? Oh wow, yeah. Look at this thing go. Oh, I just got halted again. What's the story on ADTX? Look it up. Oh, so it's got a float of 57,000 shares. That can't be right.
All right, so NVDA, I'm still long. Let's see if we can slowly grinding up. I want to see if we can get to the VWAP. TQQ, my average is 59.76. Should I sell some? No, we're gonna go there.
Yeah, it's got a
ADTX,
float of 300,000 shares on that. Wow, that's a really low float. I mean, low float would be a
ADTX.
couple million, under 10 million, but this is 320,000, of which 12% is short.
ADTX, are you talking about ADTX?
Yeah,
What is it doing? ADTX, crazy volume.
that's stupid people saying, oh, shorts are covering. It's traded 49 million shares, and there's only 30,000 shares that are short. I kind of doubt this is a short covering rally. This is just pure momentum.
Ugly. Yeah, these are guys. Be careful on these
MSTR.
ones, especially like 100 shares, 200 shares is good, but gotta careful on these ones. Managing risk
Yeah,
are almost impossible on
you
these.
can still lose $1 on this in a heartbeat, especially the way it's trading too. I mean, it's
Yes,
always
Eugene.
with these. It's yeah.
Sorry, guys, Brian.
With these, it's always about the greater fool theory. You know, if you're buying this here, you're just hoping somebody is going to pay more for it at a higher price. That's purely what's going on, and sometimes it works, but sometimes the exits get crowded too. And then when these start to dump, it's you know it can be pretty bad.
Yeah, so Eugene, the question for you is that the guest ticket is gala dinner and also the nightclub as well. Yes. Like
Data center
I
stocks.
own the nightclub. Honestly, the nightclub that night belongs to us. So even at the door, even if you want to bring someone, just say you're with Andrew Aziz. They should let you in. Even if the people who are not
Yeah,
part of the ticket.
yeah, don't say you know Brian Peasant because they'll throw you out.
Well, that's rich. All right, so NVDA is coming up. All right, so I might actually come out of this NVDA trade green. Very proud of myself.
Yeah, it's moving up nicely. The SPY's moving back up here. We're almost back at the View app on the SPY.
So now I have a question. The VIP people, should I have the breakfast here? I was thinking of Friday breakfast here at my place. We're actually live on YouTube as well, or we can just have the breakfast outside. I think it would be fun to come here.
Yeah, look at that view out the back there. That's gorgeous this morning, eh?
So beautiful. Vancouver is so beautiful. Like I don't know if you can see it or not. Like mountains, half fresh snow, and the cherry blossoms are coming out. Oh, Vancouver just drives me crazy in March, April. That place is so beautiful. You can go to the beach. It's warm enough to go to the beach, and then it's powder in the mountains. Like Avi booked a party bus from here. We want to go to Whistler, like a party bus. Imagine like 12 people in a party bus. Yeah, Thomas is coming. Thomas, are you coming from Barcelona? Or you are in Florida now? Yeah, Amy, you're coming. Yeah, it's amazing. In Miami right now, these rich people like Thomas, they live in all the good places. It's rich people, man. When I grow up, I want to become like Tom. So what about with Friday next week, we're gonna come here actually for breakfast. I'll get the breakfast catering here. That would be cool. Everybody comes here, the camera as well. So that would be nice. Let's see if the NVIDIA can actually hit the VWAP. TQQ. So Nitish, if you're VIP, we are starting actually on Friday. So I was thinking of doing the breakfast at my place. And then we can go to the Paradox. We see the rehearsals because we're setting up the Paradox on Friday. We can do the rehearsals. And then we have the dinner with the speakers and everybody for VIP people. And then Saturday, all day. So Raj here is asking a good question. When do you respect those levels when you have, like, for example, PLTR at the open, you didn't take this level because of this, you didn't take this opening range breakdown because of this level. The reality is at the open, the volatility is so high that it really can break these levels really fast. Because like, for example, in PLTR right now, we're watching it, like, for example, for me, the low of the pre-market at around 84.91 would have been way more important. And if I was going short, putting a stop loss above the VWAP, maybe, but the break of 84.50, which is also the level, it would have been a place to potentially, cover, as a place to really cover your position. But generally, at the open, these levels are, because the volatility is really high, the volumes are coming, and generally they're not really as reciprocal. Now that the volatility is coming down, you can actually expect S4 and the levels to behave a little bit nicer. Because again, the volatility is down, and then they're respecting these levels more maturely.
A bit of selling hit there, the market.
Yeah, no, I didn't sell my NVDA position. The hell did I was hoping for?
I don't know what happened there.
Time is it 10:45? Unfortunately.
Markets are spies going back to low of day here by the looks of it. It's not good. See if it can hold in this level here. Tesla's back down to going back down to Tesla a day. Still have some order, that big order at 220.
Thanks, guys. Any question? Like while we're waiting, really, market is. I don't really get much right now in the market. Any question, guys? Let me answer some questions from chat room on YouTube. Any? Melanie, are you coming to? Are you coming to Vancouver? You came last year.
Me too.
Do you ever play the break test? No, Coach Ovista. Play and break and retest. I mean, I don't have a trade book name on that. The conference is start next Saturday, 29th, 30th, and 31st. So Mohammed is asking, do you rely on the pre-market price action and volume to know the sentiment of the market before the price action? So I look at the price, personally, I look at the pre-market activity, but not for the sentiment. So, we see a lot of time that, it's going, going down, and then at the open it will sells off. What is important for me is the amount of activity that is happening in the pre-market. The more activity, it's better. But I personally don't look at it as a sentiment. Like obviously NVDA, for example, today, in the pre-market, it was really selling off, and it shows some sort of a weakness in the pre-market. Generally, it was just really going down. But at the open, it popped up. It turned out to be really nice. But I personally don't think that there is. There's a lot of sentiment on that.
Well, here we are, low of day.
You get some questions in the chat room.
Yeah, as far as a return goes, I mean, it really depends on. It varies year to year, and it depends on you personally how much risk you want to take.
Capital Bootcamp, guys, we want to actually add a lot of live trading sessions with Avi, Thor, Megan, and everybody. So one thing that for the next bootcamp we want to do actually is a new live trading group live trading, not a chat room, but it's actually Google Hangout that everybody can actually come on board. And Avi is going to be actually agreed to do it every day with Thor, Megan, and a lot of other traders. So you actually get exposure to different mindset, different thought process live in real time. So yeah, thanks all the people in the Peak Capital, especially Avi agreed to do all days, 5 days a week. Thor is going to do 2 days, and a lot of other traders, or Megan is going to do that. So, similar to these, you actually see the other traders live in action. So that's part of the next bootcamp. The next bootcamp starts in May. And remember, guys, anyone who comes to Vancouver, I credit you the payments that you are doing for Vancouver. Somebody's asking if I'm an absolute beginner. Do you learn something? I think you do. Generally, these conferences are not it's first of all, it's a community building, so you have to feel, the community in there. If you want to just pure education, maybe, if you just want to come to get something from these webinars and stuff, I don't think it's 100% serves your purpose. You have to have a feel toward bearable traders as a community. If you want to put a face in there, you want to see people, you want to party with them, you want to drink with them, you want to dine with them. For me, it's about that. When I'm going to conferences like Money Show, I really like Money Show conferences, either as a presenter or as an attendee. Part of it is I want to be around these people. I want to see John Carter. I want to see other people. I want to get to know them. I want to say hi and that kind of thing. It's like there's nothing in those conferences that you cannot get in a book or in a webinar or in YouTube or somewhere else. And I think we are the only community who do this, trying to bring the people together annually or, through these kind of things. Because I do believe that we are not really an educational or live streaming production or something. We are a community, and that community needs to get together. So Phil is having a session at 11 on options. Phil is a really good trader, actually. He's really started becoming super active in the community. So looking forward to, see Phil as well. So Mina is asking, what's the role of BBT, Peak Capital, and Trading Terminal? So Trading Terminal, we want to put the tools that needed. So some of the data visualization, some of the tools, the scanner, replay, real-time simulator, for the beginner traders or the people who really don't want to invest in like sophisticated platforms and stuff. Peak Capital has always been our mentorship program, and BBT is the community. Sometimes there are some overlaps, like Trading Terminal has an academy there's some special courses in there, like Abby, Paris, and other people are, the Amen, they're all putting out their courses and their mentorship program through that as well. And somehow they're overlapping, but generally, Trading Terminal is our technology tool, Peak Capital is our mentorship, and BBT is the main community oriented.
Yes, as far as
all of our webinars are
I
recorded
know.
for Peak Capital and for everything. Like everything is recorded, everything is posted. But you have to consume these data really fast. You have to come because we produce a lot of contents, and you need to absorb them really fast, because otherwise, just piling up things really fast. So I highly recommend to monitor constantly, weekly, the things that we have and consume them as fast, because they go bad on the fridge. So you have to consume them immediately. Yeah, thanks, Mina, for being part of the community.
Yeah, when you're asking about, the rate of return or CAGR, annual growth rate, I don't really think of can't really say that I ever look at my accounts that way. I kind of judge when you're day trading, you kind of just judge your performance day to day, week to week. Like I said, I don't really, because I pull money
Yeah,
out of the
Zach.
account.
Of course, you started trading and you lose money first 2 weeks. It's really difficult. I mean, it looks easy. It's very deceptive. It looks easy, but it's pretty difficult. And it's going to stay difficult for the rest of your trading career. It's not going to be easy. Sorry. It's funny. Sorry, Brian. You probably said something and I didn't hear because I kind of muted my speaker. I'm sorry if I interrupted you.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
shit.
okay. I was
I
just
was wondering
talking
what
about
happened.
the rate of return on your account. I mean, I don't really think of that. I don't really look at my account that way. It's not like a sort of an RSP or like a 401k or whatever, where you kind of look at the performance over time. It's more of a day, it's day trading, so it's more of like how are you doing each day.
Yeah, sorry. For some reason, I muted my computer, and then I was wondering why am I only the person who's speaking. Sorry if I interrupted, guys.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, no worries.
how many montage do you have? I have 4 montage in this setup that I have, and one option. Um, but I don't really trade option that much. Oh, okay. So we're getting somewhere in VDL.
Yeah, here we
Perfect.
go. We're getting a bit of a bounce here now. We don't really feeling like this is not a great time of day for me to take a trade. So
Amazon is sharply undercutting NVDA. How do you adjust your psychology to size up? What was your share size when it started? When I started was
yeah,
trading, it was like 400 shares or something like that. Now my positions can be as big as $1 or $2 million worth of thing. I changed my hotkeys from share size to buying power. So now I'm buying bigger positions. But if you don't look at your P&L, the concept has to be the same for you, and it's very difficult. But um, because you do look like at the P&L, I still do look at P&L. But building the confidence and trust yourself is super, super important. I mean, sorry, you're gonna get there. You're gonna get into that confidence and skill. And you don't need to trade large share size if you're not really a full-time trader. Like I don't think Brian is taking very big positions, and trading income is not the only
no,
thing that he does.
no. And my swing trade positions are more about, and the size of them are more about how much money. Like if I was trading, for example, Netflix, I'd take a lot less shares than I would with, say, if I was trading NVDA. So, but you shouldn't risk more than 20% of the value of your portfolio on any one trade, and that's really high. So part of my swing trade positioning is based a little bit on feel, like how confident am I in the position. Like, because sometimes I'll enter a swing trade, I'll be like, yeah, it's 80% going to work out, but sometimes I'm more like 90. It's really a good chance it's going to work out, so it might go a little heavier. So it's a little bit of a how do I feel about the trade as well. But again, the size of your position is really dictated by how much risk you want to take and how much of a risk taker you are, and also how much what your portfolio size is. Wow, we just could not bounce there. We tried.
Yeah, it's not going higher. I want to get NVDL 2 VBAP. I'm holding this. Yeah, I think trading is way easier for me. I mean, if trading doesn't get easier for you over after 10 years of doing it, then you gotta question yourself. Definitely, trading is super. Hey guys, remember Phil is now having the options trading mentorship at 11. Go to the webinar room for those of you. Luis, I think it's May 7 we're starting that. But anyone who sign up to the Peak Capital Bootcamp, you get to the access to the pre-essential courses, and highly recommend you go through the pre-essential courses before the start of bootcamp.
All
10
right.
seconds to 10 seconds to get into 11. We're gonna hand it over to Mr. Thor. I mean, I'm still long NVIDIA, guys, and as you see, it's going up. I want to see if you can get to the VWAP. Yeah, Qs
All
are not
right.
really doing.
Well, Qs are looking like they're going to head south again. SPY's heading back at low of day.
Melanie, Andrew's mindset on sharing the wealth of learning is bizarre. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Effort is asking, are you gonna
Not,
back into the market? Oh, yeah.
no.
Sorry,
Yeah, I was just going to say, no, I'm not. I'm not looking for any dip buying opportunities right now. The market is, well, we'll see. I mean, quite often I wait till the end of the day because it depends on how we close out the day. A lot of the swing trades that take will be based on how the day ends. So we'll see how the day ends today. But right now, wow, we're back into the selling mode here. So
right.
all right,
All right, guys.
Dan.
Have a good day, guys. See you
Yep.
tomorrow morning in
Cheers,
the chat,
everybody.
guys.
All right. Okay, I'm going to disconnect from chat room. Thor's going to be in chat, and then Paris is going to join us in just a second here. So, all right, disconnected from chat. Perfect. And then our good buddy Paris should be coming on any minute now. So, we'll wait for him to hop on here, and once he does that, we'll get his screen up and everything ready to go. All right, hopefully you guys are having a great day. It has not been an easy day. Things are just chopping around all over the place. So again, just be patient. You know, the last couple of days have not been all that nice. But you know, just gotta wait for your opportunities. Don't rush anything. If you're over on YouTube, if you're enjoying the live stream and the content, definitely hit that thumbs up. Again, always appreciate it when you guys help us there. QBTS coming back up. Just going through my watch list here. We have NVIDIA as well, dropping some more. I had one stop loss on NVIDIA here, and then since then, just a lot of sideways action, man. We're just stuck here. Also had a trade on Tesla. I'm still in Tesla, so we'll see. Just going sideways right now. Was up, down. So we'll see. We'll see if it can hold this level again. Just a lot of sideways action. So I might hold this one for into noon or 1 to kind of see where we go here. But again, in the green, but not worth to take a partial here until we get a little bit higher. Just not worth the risk to reward based on how many shares we have, how much room we have to get Tesla. So we're willing to wait for this one and see how it goes. I see my good buddy Paris hopping on. Good morning, Paris. How you doing today?
Hey, Carlos. Good. How are you?
Doing good, my friend. Can't complain. I never complain. Never complain. Always doing good, brother. Everything's always great. All right, let me get your screen here. Here we go. Okay, I don't see you are saying the screen yet, but when you do, I'll pick it up here.
Yeah,
All right, guys,
let me
over on
take
YouTube, I'm
notes.
going to continue in chat. Paris is going to take us through a couple of things, some of his trades. Hopefully, you had a good day today, Paris. It was a tough day. Hopefully, you did well today.
No, man. It wasn't a
Okay,
good day
so
for
we're
me.
not alone. Everybody I know is red. Makes me feel a little bit better, like I still know what I'm doing. The
Man,
minute
it
that
was a tough
changes, where
day
everybody else
overall.
is green and I'm not, all right, yeah, we got a problem.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough day. Where's
Yeah, yeah.
Avi?
Avi is he can make it today. He sent a message. You might have not seen it yet in Telegram. So he's not able to join us this well, I'm gonna say this morning, but this evening for him,
Okay.
unfortunately. So
So let me share my screen, guys. There's something Yeah, I can't. That is so strange. Okay.
Is not letting you share?
Yeah, no, I can share my screen.
Okay.
Okay, you guys should be able to see my screen. So currently, I am short NVIDIA from 116. I'm currently short NVIDIA, guys. I did not touch NVIDIA for a long time, but now I'm short from 116 for the low of the day, which I think if SPY drops, it is gonna come to low of the day. I had a really not great day with Tesla, but currently I am actually short NVIDIA. So very nice. I'm taking some off on NVIDIA. But it has been a difficult day overall. Uh, I was trying to short Nvidia before that, but then it wasn't dropping. And then I longed it, stopped out break even. Then I longed it one more time. Sorry, short it one more time and then very quickly got stopped out. And this was the third trade on Nvidia. Uh, so let me. So Nvidia was difficult, but Tesla was further more difficult. I'll show up on Tesla as well. And I'm mentally very exhausted on Tesla, sorry, overall on the day because I tried to capture a bounce on Tesla and it did not give me that. So overall, I'm down on the day for the day. But how's everybody on YouTube? What is everybody doing? ADTX? What is ADTX doing? So things are popping up on everything. So things are trying to pop up. And I don't have a strong conviction on it either, if it's gonna. So if it comes to my break-even point, I'll get out. The second I start sharing, my system goes really slow. Matthew, let's remember Avi with the lines that he uses. So now, I don't think that NVIDIA has a further drop. I think it's gonna come back up. Yeah, I'm getting all out on NVIDIA, guys. All out on NVIDIA. I don't like it. The way it was holding it, I don't like the way now it wants to sell off. But yeah, I'm all out on NVIDIA. I'm very I am not sure. So I think NVIDIA might be a long. Let's see if it is trying to hold here. I might take a long on NVIDIA. No, not really. Yeah, but overall a tough day, guys, for me. NVIDIA, I did not trade until recently for this thing. Tesla was the trade that I took, and it's been so choppy all day that I so uh I took a first minute opening range break up. Let me bring up the Epic pen. So I took the opening range break up right here for the 1 minute opening range break up. It was gap down, so I did not have that strong conviction, but was thinking, okay, it has a very good bounce above if it breaks the 230. It never broke the 230, rejected, I got stopped out. So that was my first trade. And then let me see if I can get long on NVIDIA, guys. I think NVIDIA has I'm taking a long NVIDIA. Boom. So I'm taking a long NVIDIA. So I'm taking a long NVIDIA. Let's see if it holds the 116. If it holds the 116, I think it can go further higher. Beauty, beauty. Taking off some. Yeah, Adrian, I'm alone today. Avi dumped me. So NVIDIA is looking for, let's see if it holds NVIDIA. Yeah, NVIDIA even on the short side, it wasn't looking like a short. And that's why I got out early. And now I'm looking for a long for the break of 116.50. Beauty, beauty, yeah. Beauty. So 160.35, selling some. Let's see if it breaks the 116.50. Beauty. See. Let's see. 160.50 has been a resistance level and also on a daily chart. So let's see if it breaks the 116.50. That's Ravi. Uh yeah, I only took 2,000 shares on it, so nothing crazy. Yeah, new love NVIDIA. Okay, so 160.50 is gonna break. Let's see if it breaks 116.50. Beauty. Anybody take that NVIDIA, guys? This was a very good momentum play. Anybody take that? Avi, where are you, man? Avi's in the chat room and doesn't want to show up. Okay, very good momentum play on the now Tesla is also popping up too. That whole, I think that whole point of me trying to capture Tesla never gave me so I'm trying to sell something at 116.84. Let's see if it has a chance to go to 116.84. I didn't even do my hair. I completely forgot. Uh, so I think this is the area where you can start thinking of adding to the position. Very nice call. I think, yeah, Tesla was this very similar price action like NVDA. I was looking for a little deeper pullback to add. I couldn't add to my position. So getting a major exit on 111.84. Let's see if it fills me. Perfect, filled. 84. Nice call. Nice. Man, Tesla was a really nice bounce. This is the bounce that I was looking for, and Tesla had that bounce in it. And I was trying to I wasted so many, like I got a really nice bottom. I could have really managed my, if I had managed my position well, I would be capturing this move. I did not manage my position well. I got literally the bottom of the day and I still couldn't manage my position well. I got very heavy at this 224.52. That's why I got stopped out and then I got messed around. That could have been the trade of the day. At least the thesis was right, and whatever was I seeing was right. So I was seeing buyers all day on Tesla. So yeah, I was long biased on it. Carl, very nice. You captured that move. Really nice. So I'm still in NVIDIA right now. So let's see what NVIDIA has in play for me. Yeah, thank you, Nate. Uh, yeah, PLTR is popping up too. So NVIDIA is doing a pullback. I'm thinking of adding to the position. I think it can go to 118. So let's see if it gives us a chance to add to the position. Very nice, Carlos. Very nice. Yeah, patience, patience. Things come. You need one good trade. You need one good trade to be back. Yeah, Eric. I think the first of all, the it's usually I was trying to play the chop and trying to get a better entry, but I did not manage my position through the chop well. So I think that's the thing that happened with Tesla today. But I think NVIDIA is working out really nice. I'm thinking of adding to the position, but let's see if it uh, maybe drops to 116.20, 116 area to give me a good uh, average. Let's see if it tries to get the liquidity grab around 116.20 area. So NVDA is trying to make a new. Yeah, NVIDIA Power is trying to pop up. Let's see if it breaks 117. I'm putting a order for 11717. Let's see if it tries to hit that. I did not add to my position. That's I don't lie. But let's see if it breaks 117. Yeah, Ravi, I think yeah, 117 is that area, but I think today 118 could be possible if this rally is real. This rally is real. Yeah, it broke out of this. Now SPY is rallying a little bit too, so anything interesting? What was somebody trading 80TX? What is that? So 80TX rallying from this thing. Now it's hmm. NVDA is actually holding up nicely around this area. The chances are it's holding up at a higher price, so it's trying to absorb all the sellers who are around the 117, and this basically means that the price is gonna go higher without much of a pullback. So let's see if it gives us a very heavy pullback or holds it. Ideally, a big picture pullback would be like a pullback to this catching up to this trend. And that could be a deeper pullback for me to add to the position. MSTR. Yeah, MSTR at the high of the day. So NVIDIA, I'm thinking of adding a little bit here. Yeah, it bounced from there. So NVIDIA, I was thinking of adding to the. So now let's see if it breaks the 117. Nothing clear on the tape for NVIDIA yet. So yeah, the sellers are getting absorbed for sure, but the buyers are not getting aggressive either. So it is just a price where it's trying to consolidate, and then eventually the buyers would step up and then break the 117. Tesla was a very good long at 224.50, around that area. I missed that move on Tesla. But Tesla is close to the high of the day, but NVIDIA is far from high of the day. So NVIDIA has definitely a chance to come closer to high of the day. Okay, now it's gonna break 117. Let's see. Not yet. It was trying to break 117. The volume came in, but usually that happens when there is especially at the whole number, like people who are experienced, they'll see it. Usually at the whole numbers, the price, there is a lot of fight happening between the buyers and the sellers. And that when a whole number breaks, it usually is a like whole numbers are usually a good areas of support or resistances. And 117 is trying to break now. Let's see if it breaks. It broke 117, very nice. 117.01, it broke very nicely. Let's see if it holds. I want to see it hold. I want to see it not reject that quickly. So 117. Yeah, a difficult so my stop is, first of all, I like to be a part of the trend. So in this case, my trend is actually catching up. So my stop loss is break even for now. No, I'm trying to capture a bigger move on the day. And if it pulls back around the 116.40, 116.30 area, by the time this trend catches up, I would be liking to add if the tape confirms. If not, then I'll hold it until either I stop out at break even, because that's where the character of a stock is gonna change, or just hold it to my target, closer to 118. RGTI, really? So RGTI, what is happening to RGTI? It is, oh, it was down really bad. Now it is catching up to the, this thing, not bad, but not a great volumes. You see this, guys, on a stock that is $11, the order flow is not that great. It's like a pulsy order flow, like a pulses. It's coming in like pulses. And that's, you want to see a continuous order flow. Like if NVIDIA, if you see it, this is what you see a continuous order flow looks like. Even on a Tesla, if you look at Tesla, you want to see a continuous order flow coming in. Like you see a continuous order flow, and then somebody is getting dominant here and there. But if you look at the RGTI, it's first of all, it's slow, and it stops and then it starts again, and it's now jumping prices. Like from 11.1, it literally jumped to 11.05. And that's not a good stock that I would love to get in. It has a potential, of course, but not my kind of a stock that I want to play with. I definitely look for a good continuous order flow on this. So NVIDIA is that particular thing where I let's see if it this time is trying to break 117 again. Let's see if it breaks. So it broke 117. Let's see if it holds. 117 held the bid. It is trying to reject again. It's trying to hold though. It is trying to hold, which is good. So 117 hold the bid now. So now it has a very good chance it goes up. Held the bid at 117. They were trying to hold the bid at 117. I think it is trying to break the 117, and I think very good chance it breaks. The bids are holding up very nicely. So let's see if it breaks. I think if it breaks, then it would be a good pop. It's a very tight consolidation, which is good. Now it's gonna break 117. Let's see. Let's see. Now it popped up. Very nice. Very nice. So now it popped up. Now wanna see it hold. Come on. Don't drop now. You should not be dropping now. Yeah. It popped to 117.07. And from here it should go higher. If that's a valid breakout. Because this buyer was trying to hold this. Anything below 116.80, then it's gonna do a little bit heavier pullback. Yeah, this is the time of the day where you have to be patient, guys. There is gonna be a lot of, it's not gonna be like as good as the open where you're trying to capture that move. Anything else that is interesting? So it dropped the 116,680. Now all the buyers who were trying to hold, they'll have to get out, and this could be a good pullback area for you to add to the position, and we'll see. I'm looking for a deeper pullback, catching up on the trend, and then if the buyers step in again, then I think it's much better chance for it to go to 118. Oh, Microsoft new low of the day. MS. Yeah, MSFT. What is Apple doing as well? Apple is going to the low of the day as well. Apple was a strong. Ugh. Yeah, nothing interesting as such. Uh, Stefan, my rule number one is always to trade in the 200 EMA direction. NVDA just gone past that. Okay, that's a good. Having rules and having some criterias on what you want to trade is, but 200 moving average on a what time frame you're looking at? That also is a credit, because 200 moving average on a 1 minute is gonna be different than the a daily or a 5 minute. So now let's see if it breaks 117. This is the, I think, second or the third time NVIDIA is gonna try. Now it breaks like a boss. Let's see if it holds it. I think it has been having trouble to hold uh, on the 117, but what you want to see is it holds the 117. Yeah, 1 minute. So 1 minute is trying to, so now 200 moving average. Oh, I think for me, it's 100. Is that, yeah, no, it's a 200. So 200, this is gonna capture, it's gonna break the 200. Yeah, uh, difficult day, a choppy. To be honest, it wasn't a difficult day. I was on the wrong side of the trades. That's why it was a difficult day. If I was like Brian was short on Tesla and he made a killing on the day. And Brian has been killing it on Tesla short. He has been even for the past few days, Brian has been doing really, really good shorting Tesla. And the difficult days for me is because I was trying to long Tesla. So that's the market did have opportunities, but not. So NVDA is still trying to consolidate around this 117, 116.60, 116.50 area. And the good thing is it's holding the daily level. This is a daily chart that I had, and it was holding the daily level, which is a good thing. And I would be trying to hold it as much as possible because there is some news on NVIDIA coming up too, right? What time is the CEO speaking on? Yeah, the way I define it, I have a good question, Adrian. So the way I define it, first of all, you want to see what is on a let's look at a 30-minute chart. Okay, just from a shorter time frame, let's look at a 30-minute chart. On a 30-minute chart, this is short, this is dropped, and this is a pullback right here. This could have easily, this is a pullback, and this could be a pullback, try to hold here for this much, and could be a reversal too at the open. There are two possibilities. First is it could be a pullback, rejects at this thing. People who are trying to trade the trend, they are trying to short here, and then looking for a downside on this thing. I'm actually thinking the other way around. And what I'm thinking is that try to bounce here. And the reason of me thinking on the long side comes from a daily. From a daily, it sold off. Now this could be a pullback on a daily and then sells off. But what I'm thinking is this is a bounce, and now this could be a pullback, and now it would hold here, and then for it to go higher. That's what my thesis on a daily looks like. So even though, so from a daily, it looks like a long right now, and on a 1 minute chart, this stock did sell off, did a bottoming action. When we say bottoming action, what does that mean? This is the opening range right here, sold off. Then this was the what do you call, the channel, and then sells off right here, and then sells off. And now what is it doing? It dropped from one range to another range right here, and then this is the bottom, and now it started making higher highs. So this is the higher high, this is the higher high. So what I'm seeing is this was the range right here at this point. Now what I'm thinking is when it claims back this range and when it tries to go pulls back to this range, I would want to go long around these areas. So here what I saw was I was short at the top of the range for it to continue, but it never continued, and it would catch up to the trend and it started buying at these areas. So I want to short at the resistance, I want to buy at the support. And that's exactly what I did. I shorted at the resistance, and then eventually here I started seeing buying on the tape and I went long at the buying area. Now it broke this thing right here at this point, 116.50, and now I would want to see if this broke the range, and now I would want to see it holds the range of 150, 116.50. And it's all about, I don't know where that is right now. So now if you look at it, this is exactly the area where I would want to, if it drops a little more, I would add more, because the chances is I want to break, I want to add the support, which was the support here, and sell at the resistance. And it's very simple. You are trying to capture a trend, but you're inside the trend, you're trying to capture a range between that. And Avi says it as fractal patterns. I say it a simple price action, support and resistance trading, like when you're trying from one range to the another. And that's how you are trying to identify if the buyers are stepping up or not. Oh, 1 p.m. ET, T-man. So effort over excuses, for me, level 2 and tape is very important. Very, very important. That's what made me, profitable in the first place. Like that was the edge that I believe that, because it increases your risk reward by exponentially. It increases your, because you're trying to trade based on what you see. And that's why level 2 and time and sales, especially time and sales. Level 2 is not it's an order book which tells you there is a potential big buyer or a seller on the thing. But if you look at, like today, I took a screenshot on one thing on Tesla. So let's see this. So if you see this, right, this is bookmap, okay? And if you look at the bookmap, this is the screenshot I took at 10:45. Okay. Now look at the bookmap. It is trading at 224.70. And you see this orders, big orders, 220, 218, 215, 210, and there is nothing on the upside. Nothing. Right? So the level 2 or the bookmap could be bearish, but the stock could go the other way. So you don't know until you take a confirmation on the and see on Tesla. So say same thing on see Tesla, that 224.70, instead of going down, it actually rallied on the upside. Even after that, it was such a bearish level 2. So it's you always want to see what is happening right now, and that basically means on the time and sales. So time and sales, and that's why I was bullish, even though I could tell that the level 2 was bearish, and that the same thing you would see on the level 2 here as well. So you always want to see what is happening, right? How the price or the buyers or sellers are interacting with each other. So let me see if I now. Yeah, thank you, Adrian. So now NVIDIA is now trying to catch up to the trend. Now when we started to it, now you see all the level twos. You see here they're trying to spoof around. They're trying to, I think as soon as it came back close to the price, they disappear. So this is now I would want to see, this is level two. This is not the order that I filled. But now what do I want to see is I want to see a hold somewhere. So 1633 is holding, drop to 1631, 1630. So no reason for me to 1630 is 27, dropped. Again, bits to 1630, 1627 dropped. So not 1624, nothing, no reason for me to get back in, even though it came to my trending this thing. Ideally, I should have added more here when it catches up to the trend, but the tape never confirmed me. And let's see where the tape confirms me. If the tape confirms me, I might even add more at these areas. So 1623 drops to 1621, drops to 16. Now 1621 is trying to hold. 1621, 1621, 1621, 1621, 1621, 1621, 1621 again, 1621 again. Okay, now this is the area for me to add. This is where I added to the position. So 1621 was the held bid right there. So now I'm looking for a pop. Now I'm looking for if it bounces from here or if it drops 1621. So let's see if it lifts from 1621 to, or if it drops 1621. So 1621 again. Oh, 1621 dropped. I want to see what it does around this area. So if it 6121 drops and immediately pulls back up, this is a very good immediately. So as soon as it dropped 1621, it was bought back up again, which is a good sign for me to think that it's gonna pop. This is usually a good sign that it's gonna pop now. Let's see. Yeah, see that pop, guys? And this is where you're trying to time your entries very efficiently. This is where you're trying to read the tape and trying to understand what is happening at that specific moment. You see that, guys? Now, like imagine the risk reward benefit that you get. So now I would want to see it keep holding higher. I saw a buyer at 1621 and I want to see it starts, breaking to the highs and then want to continue on the trend side. Okay, guys, I think it's top of the hour. I hope it was a valuable thing, and have a great rest of the day, and see you guys tomorrow. Take care, guys.